Hey guys, welcome back to the Anime Collector, and welcome to the OCA podcast with me and my co-host Donjobo Agi.
Hey, so right now we're on the New York hour. Right now we're in the New York hour, and it is 11/16/2007, or in this case 11/17/2017. And what podcast number are we on this time, AC?
I believe it's 13.
13. Ooh.
Oh, and I forgot to. It's like I just gave you crap behind the scenes about making sure you muted the the video where the chat is, and I didn't do it. That's all right. Nobody heard it though because it was in my headphones. Anyway, all right. So first things first. What's going on? Do you have anything interesting happen?
Well, online someone asked who the best girl was in the Bible, and I obviously said Salt.
Okay.
Finally saw Casablanca.
Okay.
Liked the delivery, liked the wit that was in the dialogue. Really disliked the Looney Tunes.
Why is my camera 4:3 right now? That's weird.
He wants to do smaller fractions or whole numbers. Yeah, well.
We changed that one time.
As you're fixing that, can you pop me the YouTube chat?
Yeah. Do you not have access to that link? There we go. Why did that fix that? That's so bizarre. I just had to disable it and turn it back on. Anyway, yeah, I'll link it to you. It's
all right.
This one. I have a lot going on there now. Let's see. That's where I need to send it. There you go. Okay, so good. On my end, some interesting news. Something dropped today on Mr. Nice Guy's channel. AniTuber Anthology 3, which I will be taking part in. And I've got a really ambitious project I'm going to do for it, assuming rendering time is there, which it probably won't be, let's be real. But yeah, that's what I'm up to. So I want to welcome Danny and FDD&M to the podcast, our usual early birds, although Danny is saying he'll be joining us in about a half hour.
Okay.
Anyway, so we got some interesting news regarding Kickstarter. It looks like we've got some viewers popping in now, so we can probably. Let me join the call from the other computer real quick so I can bring those links.
Ooh.
And then let me switch that off. There we go. There we go. Come on. I read and agreed to the terms. Join the call.
Are you joining? Are you joining yet?
I'm in. Oh. And I will screen share. Google Chrome not responding. Installing. There we go. Share. All right, guys. So interesting news via Kickstarter. Not really interesting, but first I want to recap what we're looking at on Yasuhiro EDA's animation film Halloween Pajama in Seattle. Why is this not sharing my screen correctly? Try that again. What is going on here? Share.
Oh man. Ooh.
It says Google is. It says it's sharing my screen, but it's not. So I'm going to stop the screen share. Okay, I'm going to leave the call on this computer and rejoin. This isn't going the way it was supposed to. Technical difficulties here. Yes. Join the call. Join. Last time we had to do this too, where I had to like. Okay, it's moving a lot faster now. This should do it. Share screen. There we go. Now it's backwards on me. Let's see. we go. Okay, that's what we wanted. So, sadly, looks like the trending is starting to really dip down. Still has 18 days to go. I actually reached out to Yasuhiro Irie and asked him if he wanted to join the podcast and promote it tonight, but there's a scheduling conflict, so he's not going to be joining us. He's working because it's like 2 p.m. in Tokyo right now. So anyway, but I got to say, this Kickstarter has been one of the most interesting that I've followed so far. First of all, just to make this clear, in case you don't know who Yasuhiro Irie is, this is the director of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, which is the highest rated anime on both Anime Planet, My Anime List, and I'm sure countless other sites. So doing has been really interesting is unlike some Kickstarters, he's actually like, you get like an update every single day and there's actual content, pretty much. So recently he did a Q&A where he actually he drew it said animation in the description, but what he ended up doing was, instead of animating, he drew a from beginning to end, like an art piece of the character while answering questions. So that was pretty cool. He also has been animating on his own time just a bunch of stuff for the project, just doing rough animation, and he's been submitting it or sharing stuff he animated years ago. And he keeps saying like the animation for the final product will be even better. And it's like, it looks really cool the way it is. I actually wouldn't mind if it was all rough, because the rough animation look just has a really neat. Anyway, here's the real interesting news regarding Kickstarter. Pals at Under the Dog. All of a sudden, we've got this major uptick. Now, this actually ends in 9 hours, and they're like 93%, I think. What was it? Yeah, that's trending at 115. I think they're currently at 93%. Something I saw recently. I don't remember where I saw that, but I know that I saw that number. So this looks a little bit fishy. Part of me suspects that they actually are backing it themselves because they didn't actually need the money. By backing it themselves and just barely getting to the that's possible, but another very, very real possibility is that see the 14th. A little early. I was going to say that when you can tell Kickstarter to remind you that when something's going to end, and it'll remind you 2 days prior, right, or 48 hours prior to it ending. So so it's kind of interesting that this spiked up early. I will say, as you can see here, we were just looking at Halloween Pajama. Yasuhiro Irie is a backer of this project. I just got an email about this tonight. So he backed the project. I don't know what tier. I don't know, as a fellow creator trying to do, it seems like, oh, you can see all my comments here. I'm on the comments page. No wonder. Go to the campaign portion. No wonder I couldn't see the right stuff. Let's see. So, again, I don't know what he pledged, but I imagine he probably pledged a lot as a fellow creator, trying to support other creators. Hopefully, I think he might be hoping that they end up turning around and doing the same thing for him. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So this is all speculation. So let's say last week or last podcast, or even just like 2 days ago or 3 days ago, the trending was like right here. It didn't look like it was going to get anywhere, but this major uptick looks like it's probably actually going to get there. And that kind of sucks because I don't want to spend $285 right now, but we'll see. I'm probably going to actually cancel my pledge just because it's not getting anything that I actually care about. And anyway, so that's the Kickstarter news. You got anything you want to say, Augie?
Well, for the first one, since it's at 18 days left, it still has plenty of time to bounce back and recover from it. Like
Yeah.
what's the money amount goal as per now and for what they want?
Goal converted from yen to US dollar, $96,000.
$86,000?
Which is so $176,000.
Okay.
Basically just under 170. So
Okay.
that's probably overshooting it, unless, I mean, it's hard to say. Who knows? But he's only at like 30%.
Then again, you would think with the director with that much pull, or that much credit, he might get some pull from other studios for this.
I think he just needs more marketing going out there. I don't think. Two things. I don't think enough people know about this. I don't think enough people know about it, and I also think that the tiers that result in actual physical copies are too high, and that there's no Blu-ray tier. I've heard those are the two major complaints I've heard from people who decided not to back it, is that there's no Blu-ray. The tier for physical release is just too high in general. So if you ever decide to make a Kickstarter for an animated project, those are complaints that you guys should always take to heart. There should always, in my opinion, there should always be a tier if you're doing a physical release for just the DVD, just the Blu-ray, you know, and then you can charge more than a typical DVD because it's going to cost you more to make it because it'll be a limited amount. So that's totally fine. If you want to charge maybe $80 for a DVD or Blu-ray tier, that's totally cool, especially if you're going to do something special with it, like chipboard, art box, and all that stuff. But you got to have a tier that's as low as it can be with just that. You know, you don't need to print 30,000 more books just for people who only want the DVD. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. But on the flip side,
anyway,
Under the Dog,
there
has to be a studio behind it too.
We'll see. I don't know. I honestly haven't sat down and read enough of it. I just personally, I really dig the.
I was talking about Under the Dog, not Seattle Halloween Pajama.
Yeah, no, I think that there's. The weirdest thing about Under the Dog is that so major stuff with Under the Dog is that they're not using who knows why that is. They released, from what I read on the comments of the Kickstarter, they released a video trailer or whatever to promote the Kickstarter on YouTube, and it's restricted to where it won't play in the United States. So potentially, if that hadn't been the case, there might have a lot more backers. Who knows? But I hate to say it, because I wanted Under the Dog to succeed when they originally did it. And they had a lot of hiccups, many of which were not their fault, but it's just turning into a train wreck, Anyway, so a little bit of other news, just to jump around a little bit more, regarding Kickstarter, is the Fist of the North Star bilingual ebook Kickstarter campaign ended and raised 22.9 million yen, which is about $201,981. So that's 30,000 ish more than what Yasuhiro Irie is looking to get, and it was all for a digital. I mean, that's probably way over their goal because people actually wanted it, But the problem with this is that it's an ebook, right? What is
maybe there was a tier for physical release, for bilingual physical release.
I looked at it in passing.
I couldn't hear any of that.
And it was partially a manga. There's nothing I don't like manga, but I remember looking at it and choosing starter. Why? Project to publish all 18 volumes of the series digitally on new E1 book device. So they created a new device, or there is a new device that they this doesn't seem seated, honestly. Anyway, so do we have one more? No, we'll move on to this in a minute. So let me catch up on the chat real quick. Zenithus, welcome. You got your name on Blu-ray. You got the standard edition.
Yeah, the stream quality is not really good at the moment because I barely could hear what you just said.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me
going off and on like that for a little bit.
Let me leave the call over here for a minute.
I'm too close to the camera. Scoot it back.
So,
scoot it back. I can't scoot that back.
Basically, the chat right now is talking about Your Name. Just got released.
Right.
And yes, the non-standard edition, the limited edition, is the Death Parade style box with splits, which I feel like that's a design that you got to take advantage of when there's an opportunity to use it for Blu-ray, you know. And Death Parade, it worked, and I think Your Name, I don't think it's too bad that they decided to do it that way. They're annoying because they're like when you try to pull them out, they like come apart, you know, out of your bookcase. But I think that I can understand why they made that choice.
Well, if you do that, put like a plastic sleeve over it.
Yeah, if they had done that, that would make it easier, or even better. Like I don't know, like there's a million ways you could do it differently and better and stuff. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. FDDM says Yasuhiro Irie better have pledged just to say hope you fail. Actually, speaking of which, I love the comments on the Under the Dog Kickstarter. I'll read some of them to you real quick.
Right.
There's new ones too. There's a lot of new ones all of a sudden. My favorite comment is from Gabriella Creighton. Is this the new hit anime series, How to Tank Your Kickstarter Project? That's my favorite comment so far. A lot of other people had a lot of really great points. Last 3 days pledges look very suspicious. Yeah, people are calling them out. The same happened with Implosion Zero Day. I'll be happy if it works, no matter the cause. I want more Under the Dog. The people who are this like enthusiastic about Under the Dog, I feel like they're sock puppets. To be honest with you, just because I don't know. It looked cool, like the trailer that they did for the original Under the Dog, and then the actual animation we got wasn't bad, but it didn't look anything like that. Like they didn't have. I don't remember the. Like, there's just a lot of stuff that took place in the trailer that absolutely did not show up in the actual OVA.
I get what you're saying. There's people that I know that will just like something just for name. Like, for example, when Aniplex released Garden of Sinners, there were some people who legitimately liked it. Then there's some people that wanted it because, ooh, it's that much, I have to get that.
Yeah.
Which, so sadly for those, a lot of them that I see don't really have that much. But then again, I'd figure that there would be more people like that around where you live, AC.
Yeah. Hold on, catch jump on chat real quick. Control usually me.
Chitty, chat.
Haven't seen one for the second on the dog. Yeah.
But still, it baffles me.
It's funny. It's funny. FD mentioned that Crunchyroll usually always makes an article about crowdfunded anime, but this time he hasn't seen one for Under the Dog. Maybe that's because Under the Dog has chosen not to go with them for their streaming.
No, that's probably true. But it's kind of strange for these two Kickstarters because they're both prominent people. Mm-hmm. Under the Dog should have just been funded by Bandai. And this other guy, granted, it's a passion project. I understand that. It's your child. It's your baby. But how come he directed Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood but can't get his project on the ground?
Well, I mean, what I'm saying is he's a big name in the anime industry. Like, he's done a lot of things that it's kind of interesting if you think about it, because he's one of those people. Well, like, think about it this way. When you think of anime directors, you don't think of Yasuhiro Irie. You don't think about the director of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. What you think of is Hayao Miyazaki. You think of Shinji Aramaki, or Hideaki Anno. These are people that come to mind. Mamoru Oshii. These are the names that come to mind when you think about director. You don't think about the directors of shows that often. Especially because a lot of times there's multiple directors, and he's listed, if I recall correctly, as the director, and then also like episode director on certain episodes. So I don't know. I'm not exactly sure, but it's just if you go through his stuff on Anime News Network, he's been a part of some really impressive projects, Oh, yeah. And from what I've seen of his animation ability and stuff, like the guy's got some serious talent. And it's kind of sad that I would have liked to see him already above the threshold and reaching stretch goals. Like that would be where we're at right now, is is he going to reach the stretch goal, not is he going to make it at all. I'm hoping that if the Kickstarter fails, he'll come back to it in a month or two and do it again, with a little bit more like, let's say he'll think out the tiers a little differently, maybe add a Blu-ray option, read the comments in the thing and really get it, which I don't think Under the Dog is going to do at all, to be honest with you. I feel like they're going to barely make it, and then they're just going to shit all over us all over again. But anyway, so every time we do this, FDM, you talk so much. Potentially next podcast, he'll be joining us as a co-host, so that'll make this a little easier. He can just talk to us instead of filling up the chat. Although it is interesting that the comments on my channel analytics skyrocket every time you're in the chat. FDM.
Okay, awesome, thank you. Those are called digipaks.
Yeah,
I've been wondering what that. Yeah, I've been wondering what that's been called.
Yeah,
thank you.
Those are the ones. The digipaks are the ones that the majority of those, before the Malaysian bootlegs, those are the Hong Kong bootlegs that would have the plastic sleeve. You take them out and they open up. In fact, I don't remember if I showed
reference, this. If you look at this, viewers, this is
that's an extended digipak. A normal digipak is like how they did Mind Game.
Oh, you finally got that now.
Yeah, so I finally got Mind Game. I don't know if I talked about this. Just to jump through pickups real quick, I don't know if I talked about this, but I also got Skip Beat. So.
Arrived as we did the podcast.
FDDM actually sent me a picture of his. I'm not going to open mine. I'm going to leave it nice for now, so I'm not going to look. But he sent me a picture of his, and his it was printed off, like it was cut, like the printing on the back page was all cut. So anyway, so let me catch up on this chat, because you guys keep moving forward, and I keep rereading the same.
There's no guys. There's only one guy.
Probably a device. We go behind that. Putting a thing in half to access discs is bad enough, and then they get a digipak on top of that. Digipak's possible to replace. That's true. That's very true. Crack teeth, they rip you. Yep. Garden of Sinners is now on Anime Strike. As much as I don't like the way Anime Strike is handled, like a lot of people, I admire the fact that they are the first place to officially distribute Garden of Sinners. Well, they're the first place to stream it. Under the Dog was probably not made an article of, because there was no actual anime in this project. That's true. Plus writing being on Crunchyroll, but it had an article. Yeah, I get that. But they also created a physical release. The whole thing about it was a physical release. With this Under the Dog project, all they're doing is streaming it, and they're choosing not to stream it on a good place. They're doing their own thing where you can only stream it for a year. Yeah, I meant to stream. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. And I missed one here. We should offer to produce an English dub. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know anybody who could. Well, actually, I do have my sister-in-law's sister-in-law is a voice actor at Funimation, so maybe we could. Anyway, so I'm all caught up. Let's. You want to do pickups real quick, and then we'll get back into the news, or?
Yeah, sure. I'll do mine first, and we can go from there.
I gotta open this one. So
as I said, I as well had Skip Beat, and when we were doing the podcast last time, it was at where I was. It was at where I get my mail.
Okay, so you had it last time. It just wasn't.
I had it last time, just couldn't get it. So locally, from a friend, I finally bought this from him. So now I have all of
Wings of Green. Are those? Did those have a dub on them? There's two separate releases?
This is the Homines release. Let's see. If I recall, this is sub only. English subtitles, Japanese audio.
Actually, never mind. It's behind that top row because it's next to Aura Battler Dunbine.
That makes sense. So, if I understood right, this play in the Aura Battler Dunbine series, this takes place right after Garzy's Wing.
Does it? I don't remember where. Oh, I'll go grab mine. I don't know what order I put them in. That's awesome manga Dio, so it's got to be right here. Oh. I'm really glad I left the camera on you, I think. Okay,
Did you
so
drop
I have
the
mine.
baby?
No, I have mine at Aura Battler Dunbine, then Garzy's Wing, then Wings of Green.
Okay. So, technically, for now, I believe I've completed all of Aura Battler Dunbine because I got the OVA for Aura Battler from Bootleg. There's no way. Yeah, I got the same thing.
What barcode? Go for the first one. What does your barcode end in?
Okay. 1. It ends with
0.
Well, that depends. Outside the barcode or within the barcode?
The check digit.
The outside barcode is 0.
So it's 80. Then the next one is 97, and then one after that is 03.
Yes.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that there's a second release of these that's a lot harder to get a hold of.
Well, the only difference in your other release that you're talking about is one of these cards.
We're talking about one of these cards. Does yours have a electrical card or whatever?
Yes.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't have the electrical card on any of mine.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah, I do. You have it.
So there's releases that have that and releases that don't have that, if I can recall.
I never opened mine, so I didn't notice.
Speaking of never opened, I also got this from a friend. Finally, a sealed copy of Pony Dash, the starter box.
Yeah, that's just the starter box. A friend of mine bought me
the
that
sealed
for my
copy
birthday.
of Pony Dash Volume 6.
Is it rare now or
no? Then the sealed copy of Pony Dash Volume 5
with the Sukeban Deka cover?
Yep. Then the sealed copy of Volume 4. But what's this? Oh, the sealed copy of Volume 3. Ooh. And it skipped and jumped and landed in my hand. And lastly, get in the car because it's Volume 1 sealed of Pony Dash. You okay? You look a little
I'm just looking at chat. I want to thank Genshin Shiruzu joining the chat right now. New to the channel. I will get to your comment in a minute. A friend of mine bought me Pony Dash for my birthday one year.
Yep.
And he bought it on Right Stuff, and it took forever to get to my house because Right Stuff was like, I don't know why, but for a while they were really skeptical of credit cards registered to a certain address, but shipping to a different address. So it took like months for me to finally get it.
Was this back when Right Stuff was competing prices with like Amazon and eBay?
I don't know.
I've heard that by rumor. I don't even know if that's even true.
Probably, I want to say at the latest it was 2008. It was probably 2007. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 2007 when it happened. Anyway.
Okay.
So you have more, you said?
I do have more. And now we go to regular pickups. And what's your opinion on Nuku Nuku? I
think it's worth seeing once.
But it's not bad.
I don't think it's bad, but I also don't think that it's not, like I said, it's not something I'm going to sit down and watch once a year, you know? Like,
oh, come on.
What?
It's like Outlaw Star, just silly. We're at Est now. But anyway, there's one part of it that's bad, and why train why? And that is the Crusader video release.
Oh, I was going to say, what the hell is that?
So now I can say I have the complete collection with all tracks.
Cool. Maybe in a because our podcast is magic. Maybe now Discotheque will release one with all tracks.
Maybe. Used to, you can find the Crusader video dub, or some call it the IKSS Films dub, which wrongfully voiced Nuku Ryunosuke's Ryan, and they chose some interesting ways to release this. So from one of the people selling in the groups that we're in, I finally got a light novel anime called Arcana Famagoria, which I have no idea if I pronounced that right.
Interesting.
The Severing Crime Edge.
Severing Crime Edge. I have a DVD of that. Haven't watched it though.
And finally, Cube Cursed Curious C3. Something I've been wanting to rewatch. Well, not rewatch, but finish. But wait, there's more, which this should be deja vu. Children of Lost Voices.
Oh, cool. That's I have that, I believe. I still haven't watched it. That's the original that's release. The last thing I haven't seen. Is there an original? Who released the original?
There was an original release. Then Toonami showed it. It sold out, so they re-released it as this combination pack.
I have the DVD release.
Okay. I got the combination pack because, like you said, with Bodacious Space Pirates, the movie, it was one of those cheap ones that you find and you just get.
By the way, between the last 2 weeks, I watched all of Bodacious Space Pirates and the movie.
Cool. I just haven't seen the movie yet.
Yeah.
Does it make up for the ending?
You have to see it.
Okay. And at the moment, until December something, Lupin the Third, the Alcatraz collection. So at the moment I have all episodes released of Lupin over in the US at this time.
Cool.
And just like you last week, I got Vampire Vixens. Ooh, she's wearing clothes. Ooh. So this past weekend, I was at the Hamicon Mini helping with the viewing room, and shock, surprise, and dismay, they had DVDs over there. One of the things that I got, which I think I got for a steal, it's not really an anime series, but it's cataloged, and that's A Chinese Ghost Story.
Oh yeah, I forgot. We talked about that behind the scenes. I also have that.
Then I got an upgrade and a gift from a friend. The upgrade I got is Landlocked, which the current version I have is water damage, but I'll show you next podcast to cast for comparison.
I can't remember if I have that or not. I think I do. It should be right here if I do. JKL. Go ahead, keep going.
Okay, and a gift from my friend, which I already have, but I don't have this edition, so I'm not going to say anything. It was nice of him to give me this. It's Suzuka, the complete collection.
Okay.
And one of your favorite boxes.
People who know about Suzuka, I bought that show specifically because I remember seeing a quote somewhere where it said on the box, Suzuka is a real bitch. And I thought that was really funny. And I bought it. I can't find it anywhere on the Funimation boxes at all. I have the art box of the individual DVDs. Where was that? Where was that it actually had that line? Do you remember that? Do you remember seeing that? That was like a running gag in my friend group, in my anime club in like 2007.
Sadly, I was in high school and not in your anime club, so I wouldn't know.
But I was also in high school. But does anybody else remember that?
Wait, we graduated the same year?
What?
Graduated the same year?
I graduated in 2007, yeah.
Oh, wow. Bon years.
All right. So anyway, is that your final pickup? Because I've only got a couple.
And that's it. Yeah, so I did not skip out this time.
All right. So I showed you guys Mind Game and Skip Beat Game. I also have, I got the DigiView release of Defenders of Space.
Huh, I thought you had that release.
I have the East West Entertainment LLC release, not the DigiView release. Just for the record, these are kind of dubious as to whether or not they're legitimate or not. I don't want to go into it right now. I'll do it in the bootleg series eventually, but DigiView and East West Entertainment LLC especially didn't have the rights to these, just so you know. So they're in the gray area of bootlegging. Now, I also just got the Dragon Ball Z Amazon exclusive Blu-ray collection, but this one was really like junked up, so I requested a replacement from Amazon, which is what's in this box. I'm going to open it up later into the podcast just to check and see if this one's all busted up too. The best thing I bought, and I actually bought this like 2 podcasts ago, and it took forever for them to ship it to me because it was coming from the UK, even though it's the American release. I got the super rare Legend of the Condor Hero, volumes 1 through 7 in the art box. And I got to say, the person who developed this art box is probably the worst graphic designer ever, because of all the things to put on the end label. Why do I have to look at this enormous sash? What are they thinking?
Looking at it, do you know if that's supposed to be based off of a Chinese ballet?
It's based on the martial arts novel, Legend of the Condor Hero. Okay. It's the Louis Cha. Yeah, Louis Cha. It says right here, based on the classic martial arts novel by Louis Cha. So there's also there's probably already there probably is a ballet. I know there's a live action drama series about it. This was released by Taiseng Entertainment, which is the same DVD company that released Champion Joe. I always forget what that is what it's called. The Mashitano Joe movie. Yeah. So anyway, so I think now that I have this, I've completed their entire library from Taiseng Entertainment, and that's all. Oh, one more pickup. You have another pickup too. You just forgot about it. Let me go grab it.
I did. Well, as we wait,
I'm back.
Okay.
So in our last podcast, we chose to watch Golden Boy and Salaryman Kintaro. Right? And I told you guys we wouldn't be spoiling anything if you weren't able to watch Salaryman Kintaro. Boy, was I wrong. This show is absolutely incredible. It's probably now my 3rd favorite anime of all time. Turns out, this is the last pickup I have. There's a live action movie directed by Takashi Miike. I am halfway through it. I haven't had a chance to finish it. But yeah, the show's amazing. We'll talk about that later on in the podcast a little bit. I'll try not to give you guys spoilers because it's just incredible. It's incredible in ways that it shouldn't be. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and catch up on the chat now a little bit. I'm gonna Genshin, I'm gonna skip your comment until Augie's back so he can get in on that. Oh, Augie is back. All right. Hold on real quick. Augie, do you want to talk about the live action thing, or you're not on the headphones yet?
Okay.
Do you want to talk about the live action? Do you want to talk about that DVD before I go on to reaching out to the chat again?
All right. So quickly, I too also have this, as you said, and I forgot one more.
Oh, okay.
So you weren't even the complete collection, the box that I've been wanting.
That's the re-release box, isn't it?
No, this is the original.
Huh. You want to see my box?
Yep. Oh, didn't that come like in a gun box?
Yeah. It's like the original anime to actually do that. Macross, it's right here. Yeah.
VOTOMS was the first one.
Did VOTOMS do that too?
Yeah, with a metal box.
But that's like a lunch box. This is the one I have.
Okay.
I
got release.
I wanted this show to be a lot better than it was.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
So, if I understand the releases right, what you got was the collector's set, or
Yeah, I have the 7-disc art box. Like I have the thick one, the original release. There's a thin pack, and then there's a re-release thin pack. Because ADV towards the end of their lifespan, all of a sudden they re-released a bunch of their top hitters with new artwork on the shows.
Yep.
So
the yellow one was the first thin pack.
Okay, well I could be wrong.
And the red one was the re-release.
Yeah, because they went with a lot of yellow colors for their re-release for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, so let's catch up on the chat here. So Genshin Shiruzu says, I don't have much to say, but I'm new to your channel. Just discovered you this week. A question I have is, what is your overall favorite OVA that's unrelated / has nothing to do with a manga or anime? That is a really tough question to answer. Let me double check something. I don't know if it's related to an anime or not. I can tell you.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. I would say Galaxy Furin Yuna.
Galaxy Fraulein Yuna.
Yeah.
I didn't love that. I didn't think it was bad, but I also didn't really love it. I've got one in my head that I think is not based on a manga, but it probably is. But Anime News Network doesn't want to load. Okay, there it goes. It's called. Japanese keyboard makes this difficult to get the plus sign in there. I'm just double checking. Yeah, I know you went on to talk about Cyber City Oedo as being one of your favorites. I saw that in the chat.
Well, he knows where to stick the thumb.
I could probably find something here. I don't know. That's a really good question. Okay, it's
the trick is original OVA.
All right. No, it is based on a manga. Dang it. I was gonna say 1 + 2 = Paradise, but there is a manga for that. I don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I'll come back to you with that. I'll have to think about that. I've got so much I've seen. Like I'm actually nearing my 1,000th completed anime pretty soon. So it's kind of hard to. And I also don't read a lot of manga, so I don't know if, I've got stuff that I could probably, if I had a list in my head of stuff that wasn't related to a manga, I could probably tell you know what? No, that is a manga too, doesn't it? Hold on. I was going to say Karas, but I think they made a manga tie-in to the anime. I don't know. Let me move on to the chat and I'll see, maybe we'll come back to it. So Lance Power says, I got Your Name Blu-ray DVD combo standard edition for $17 new at local FYE because someone bought it and sold it back without opening it. It was brand new. If I had to choose, FDNM says he remembers back when Right Stuff didn't do PayPal. You know what I remember? I remember when Funimation used to sell things on the Z Store.
Yeah. Again, that's not too hard to remember because that was a add-on.
Cut out. You totally froze and cut out. That was an add-on.
It was an ad back when we watched Speed Grapher.
Oh yeah, that's true. That was so that, like 2007 range, around that. It's 10 years ago, dude. Anyway, let's see. FDDM says I bought Cyber City because a clip on YouTube called "The Worst Dub" had a scene with a hilarious line.
That dub isn't that bad.
Ushio and Tora, cool. Nice.
Not perfect, but it wasn't that bad.
For what?
Cyber City.
Oh, the dub? Yeah, I didn't. I think people just find lines that are translated funny. Like there's a line in Genma Wars that is so funny. I don't remember if it's in the subtitled version or the dub version. I think it's in the dub version, and it's one of those things where it's out of context. There's a character who is pregnant or like incubating a demon, and it's like a demon baby, And there's a line where this character has to go take care of something. He says, "As soon as I get back, I'm going to beat that baby out of you." Like, it's just such a funny line out of context with the rest of the show. So people take clips like that and they put them into, they just call it, it's just called worst dub to get you to click. Yeah, it's terrible, but it does have some good moments.
Okay.
I read that. Let's clip. Augie is a fool for getting but a measly DVD-only copy. Augie didn't get the DVD-only. What are you talking about? For what?
The Ushio and Aura.
Oh, okay.
No, well, you had to wait 2 months, so yeah.
Genshin Shiruzu says that clip is from the UK dub. Probably referring to the. He says, I love the clip. Sengoku talking smack to Benton. I also love the opening song for 808, full of 90s nostalgia. So the Blu-ray quality isn't fantastic. Ushio and Tora needed less grain, if unintentional. I think it's rumbling. Kimi Nozo, Rumbling Hearts does say, I think it says betrayal's a bitch or something
Betrayal's
like that on it. I know that it says that. I specifically know that I was not thinking of that when with Suzuka, because I remember I got a kick out of the fact that Funimation was throwing that in titles, and I knew that they did that on that one. So it's something completely different. I don't know. I'm just going to look it up real quick, see if I can find it.
Are you sure it's not one of those Photoshop images?
No, it was an official. It might have been like one of the. It might have been one of these, one of the Right Stuff things, like where Funimation, because Funimation did those too for a while during the time when they had something, I forget what it's called, but they had a club thing where you could send in. Basically, you just told them that you had a club, and they would send you single DVDs, right? I forgot what that thing was called. I still remember the name of my correspondent at Funimation. Sophie McNutt was the correspondent I had. So okay, so Karos the Prophecy is going to be my pick for a favorite OVA not tied to a manga. I believe there's a comic manga in the DVD, but it's a tie-in. It's not based on it. So that's my answer to you. Anyway, I was going to look for. Forgot what I was going to look for when I came back here. Suzuka is a real bitch. Let's see if I can find where that said that, because I was so disappointed. And something else. Let me just grab it real quick. Here, it's right here. Something else I always thought was funny is the idea that apparently Kodansha just couldn't be bothered with Volume 2. Missing,
There you go.
So, but I swear to God, I remember seeing it somewhere, and it cracked me up. I always remembered. It's like it says, "Love is not a spectator sport." I remember it being something like this, where Suzuka is a real bitch, or something like that. I don't remember, but it was so funny. Anyway, I'll
Wait a minute. Did you talk about the poll?
I did not. Oh, we should get on that quick because it's about to end. So on my Twitter.
Tweet.
I have a Twitter poll for what we're going to watch next podcast, and I need you guys to jump on that now if you haven't already. So it's at CypherusMC on Twitter, SeiferusMC. The Twitter poll, I'm going to retweet it right now. I'm going to unretweet and retweet it so that I can bring it back to the top. Actually, no, it ended. Shoot. So Chargeman, it only got 4 votes. So I can tell you 2 of them went to Chargeman Ken, 1 of them went to Blackjack the Movie, and 1 of them went to Ninja Cadets. So if anybody wants to, anybody who didn't vote on it, who wants to vote in the chat right now, we can do it that way. So I'm going to type into the chat just so that you can visually see what I was talking about, what the titles were. So Chargeman Ken. By the way, Amazon only has 1 copy of the Blu-ray for Blackjack the Movie in stock right now.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So FD&M voted for Blackjack?
Yeah, he voted for Chargeman Ken, he said.
Okay.
let me catch up on the chat before we.
Well, at least
I wish there was there needs to be
being shipped to Africa.
There needs to be a way to click on comments and like highlight, like, so I can keep track of where I left off. Yeah. So okay. Yeah. FDDM goes on to say, "Goddamn, my DVZ still ain't shipped." Yeah. I was going to tell you this stuff. I decided to wait till the podcast to tell you about that, because earlier today he was talking about how he ordered it from Amazon, the U.S. Amazon, and he's in Canada, and it still hasn't shipped for him yet. And I now have 2 copies of it in my house.
What would it take to get him to move to America?
I don't know. Probably a career. Is that an 80 series? Karas? Karas is that came out, I think, in 2005, 2006. It was the 50th anniversary of Tatsunoko, the company that made Speed Racer. So it was like 50 years later, they did this pay-per-view anime, which should be like right here, EFGHAJK. It should be, it's like right in front of me. Yeah, Karas. So they did a pay-per-view anime called Karas the Prophecy and Karas the Revelation. There's a lot of cell shaded CG in it, but it's like wonderfully done. I mean, it looks incredible. It's worth checking out. The first one's way better. Karas the Prophecy is way better than the Revelation. But the Revelation has some really cool scenes in it too.
I didn't know Shogate animated that. I didn't know that Shogate animated that.
Tatsunoko?
It's Tatsunoko and Shogate. Look at the back of your box and you'll see Shogate.
I didn't. Kill me here. Where did you see Shogate?
The big S. Look at the bottom.
Oh, that's only on the second one.
Oh, okay.
The first one has Toshiba Entertainment on it. That's interesting. Huh. Yeah, see, look at only the second one has it.
Okay.
That's weird. Anyway, yeah, so it's really cool. It's worth checking out. If you're gonna watch it, I'm a big proponent for dubs. Don't watch the dub on this one, because you gotta listen to Matthew Lillard. The subtitle one's way better. Just saying. Anyway, let me catch up now. Explain how to collect VOTOMS this episode. Okay, I'll get to that.
Oh, it's very simple. All you do is just grab your copy of VOTOMS, and there you go.
Yeah, those are digipaks right there.
They are.
Yeah.
I'd rather have this version than the other. Well, I wouldn't mind that case.
I like the version I have. I talked about it in the I think that was the one where I did Don't Judge by Appearance. It's probably my worst video. But I talked about it in one of those videos, and it was, I really love that show. I wish that's another show that could have really benefited from an old like 80s dub.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I bought a Cherry MX keyboard these past weeks, and I realized you could have gotten that and just bought Japanese English. You know what? I will say this. I like having the Japanese keyboard. I do kind of regret it, though, because I have to work in Premiere. In After Effects, it's not so bad. And actually, I don't even know what the new MacBook's layout is for the English keyboard, but I gotta tell you, working in Maya is such a pain, such a huge pain, because the function key is on the exact opposite of the keyboard, and in order to do an insert key on the Mac to move a pivot point, it's such a pain. You gotta hit function left. Anyway, so yeah, I could have done that, but I didn't. I wait 2 months. Anyway, goes Sentai crap later. Yeah. Got invoice for Skip Beat. Yeah, so that's what you're mentioning about them shipping it finally to South Africa. I guess I was talking about the U.S. dub. The clip was referring to called second worst line. Okay. Charge Man can. Oh, it's me talking about what you guys can vote on. I really want Go Down Show to re-release Alita Last Order. Okay, so you want the manga in hardcover for, yeah. That would be cool. Actually, I have to agree with that. If they would get those on because they did the other ones like you said. There's a tie. No, there wasn't a tie with Blackjack and Charge Man Ken, according to what I saw. What there was is there was a three-way tie at one point where everybody had voted for one. And because that results in 33% for each one, which only adds up to 99%, they gave an extra percentage point to Ninja Cadets. So it looked like Ninja Cadets was winning, even though it actually had the same number of votes. There was a tie. Blackjack the Movie is on Crunchyroll. I realized that would be a good one to go with, actually. I wouldn't mind Blackjack, though, after hearing. Yeah. Really? Really, FTDM? Really? I'm going to hold my tongue on the worst stuff you have going on in Canada right now.
Actually, it's great within Canada. I know.
Yeah, sure it is. See you in 10 years. Genshin, just so you know, regarding Karos, I know it's got to be like right here. I know I have it. I just took it off. There is a... Where is it? There's an art box for Karos. The one I bought it as it came out, so they have sleeves on them. But after that release, they came out with one that came with a foil art box, which I put something in it and put it in my extras boxes up there to keep it safe. So look for that one. It's better. It looks nicer and it keeps the DVDs together. So just FYI.
And that's it for the chat.
Actually,
wait, no, I have to scroll. Oh no.
I was going to say something and I already forgot what I was going to say. Okay. Oh yeah. All right. So here's the thing. I kind of hope we can switch, even though Charge Man Ken won. I'm hoping that we can switch to Blackjack because Charge Man Ken, I don't have it. I can get it. It's not the end of the world to get it, but I have, as I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, Mr. Nice Guy just released the trailer for the AniTuber Anthology Volume 3. Where we're doing Japan Animator Expo, and I still have to do a lot of recording and editing for my short that I'm doing in that. And I have a really ambitious idea for something I want to do. Basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shoot a version that doesn't include this thing I want to do, so that I can at least send Mr. Nice Guy something that he'll be able to add to the thing. And then I've got this really ambitious idea that's gonna take all my free time and probably rendering time that'll take it beyond the actual due date. But I've got a really cool idea I want to do. So I'm hoping that I don't have to watch Charge Man Ken because that's sub only, and I don't have time to read subtitles for like the next 4 weeks. So I guess only the next 2 weeks is the short is supposed to be done by the 27th. I'm going to try to get an extension if I can at least give him something like a placeholder to work with, just so that I can finish rendering stuff. But let me give you, I'll give you a little tiny sneak peek on what I'm working on real quick. Actually, I got to render a new shot. So panels, perspective camera. I won't even render it. I'll just show you the. Pull that out and share screen real quick. So this is what I'm working on. I'm working on something that requires this. So anyway, I haven't textured it yet. Still have a lot to go. Hey, this changed colors on me again. I don't know what's causing that. Anyway, but yeah, I'm working on something. And it's going to be epic if I can actually do it. If not, I will have a much less interesting thing to do. But I don't want to do Charge Man Ken, so I can work on that. And Augie disappeared on me. Grabbing a surprise. Okay. Anyway, so let me know what you guys want to do. I'll do Chargeman Ken, because the one thing about Chargeman Ken is that it's 65 episodes, but they're only like 5 minutes each. So I could theoretically do it. Wouldn't be the end of the world. Wait. FDDM says, on an unrelated note, some young girl who comments on my vids has her own channel where she makes Nightcore Minecraft LPs and ASMR. I just find that the ultimate combination. Well, I have a channel where I do Minecraft videos, and in fact, we talked about Wings of Rain. Go look up Minecraft Wings of Rain, and you'll get to see a video where I had a real cringy moment where it's... I name stuff around my base after things from anime, and when they added Elytra to Minecraft, I named my Elytra the Wings of Reen. Had not watched Wings of Reen. Somebody pranked me with something from Wings of Reen, and it fell flat on his face because I hadn't watched it yet. It's a really awkward video, but if you want to see it, it's there.
Who in the world does a Minecraft with Night Court? That's like one of the things that's just weird. Yeah,
not Night Court. Although,
that
if you want to see something, go watch the Minecraft court case. That's one of the funniest Minecraft things that's out there. Anyway, all right, let me catch up. Actually, yeah, sugar doesn't have blah, blah,
ketchup. Blah. This is a mustard household.
I hate ketchup. I hate ketchup so much.
And then get serious.
An unrelated. Okay, so you want to know something that's interesting on relating to people commenting? Go check out the comments on the last podcast. If you're in for a hoot. I don't want to say it out loud, but you should just go check it out.
Oof. Have you ever seen Rocco's Modern Life?
I have.
I think you're pulling a heifer on people.
What do you think? Why do you say that?
You always get into trouble, then also pull some cheeky stuff. Anyway.
Yeah, well. I think I came up with the only appropriate response to the comment.
Yeah.
That's
all
cool.
Right. The chat is caught up.
Yeah, that's cool. Genshin, about the winter coat that looks like Ava Unit 1. That's pretty cool. The thing I'm doing... No, I can't say it. I'm sorry. I'll give it away. Yeah, I know. Most Minecraft LPs are not as well made as mine. I'm a god at it. I know. I've got a hilarious conclusion to the last video I released, or the one before that behind the scenes video. But I don't have any time to work on it. Okay, so he's saying Minecraft and Nightcore on its own. So not Minecraft and Nightcore. They're two separate video topics. And call it Nightcore. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I'm all caught up. Let's go back to the news. I'm going to rejoin the call on this other computer. And we've got, so the last thing we left off on was that Fist of the North Star ebook thing. And in that same sort of vein, the next thing we're going to talk about, just a quick little thing we're going to go through.
Ooh, it's suspended. I can't hear you. Still can't hear you. That's nice, but I can't hear you. The video is frozen. Yeah, can't hear you.
You know what? I'm going to leave the call.
Okay. Okay.
No, we're back. We're back.
I have no idea. My sound was working.
It was working, yeah. All of a sudden, I heard you cut in. There we go. Yeah, I just had a little hiccup with the internet there. In fact, my internet's been going out every night for like an hour and a half. It's so annoying.
Huh.
So HIDIVE streams a classic mecha anime, Space Runaway Ideon. Augie and I are both pissed that they're just streaming it. There's still no optical media release. Next in the news, the voice actor for Bulma in the Japanese version of Dragon Ball has died. I'm not. So I'm not. It comes out like half the other people in the world, but her death, an appearance in the show at all. So I don't know. There may be some more lines already pre-recorded, but people are speculating that we've already heard, or if you're watching the Japanese version, you've already heard the final lines. So there's that, and then on the U.S. side of things, we've got voice actor Chris Ayres is fighting COPD. Looks like they reached their goal. I should have probably included this in the description of the video, so that if you guys want to, you can send us some for his reasons. Actor for Frieza in Dragon Ball Kai and Dragon Ball Super, and countless other things. I mean, he's a pillar of the voice acting industry for American anime. And speaking of things that are dying or sick, former Funimation parent company Navarre is entering bankruptcy protection. So there's that. But the thing is, though, that they sold Funimation in 2011. Okay, so this is we sort of joke about this. Funimation's been bought and sold numerous times. Every single time, Gen Fukunaga, the nation, every single time he comes out on top. It's crazy. So he'll sell Funimation for a chunk of money. Funimation will do okay. Then the company decides to sell Funimation back to him. He buys up Funimation again. Funimation has a spike in profits and everything, and then he'll sell it again, as he just did to Sony, and then certainly in the future he's going to reacquire a majority shares in it, and it's going to just have another. It's like what do they call those in Dragon Ball? The Zenkai boost, where the Saiyan
Zenkai
almost
boost.
dies, and yeah, that's what they call it when a Saiyan almost dies and then they recover. They have a huge boost to their power level when they reach near death levels of death, and then like take a Senzu bean or something. They're like 10 times stronger.
Huh? I didn't know that was called. That was
Talk
given
about
a
it in the
name.
show. It says, yeah, and then we've got
I'm familiar with the effect.
other. I didn't know the name of it either until I started watching Quaman, or Detective Q is what he goes by on YouTube now. Sorry, I'm just trying to load these pages because I have an app I have a plugin that suspends tabs so that they stop, because Chrome is one of the worst browsers out there. It has an individual process going for every single tab you've got open. So just got to reload them real quick. So in other quick news, roll to screen the first 4 Black Clover episodes in theaters. So see that. I went to their screening for I don't think it's worth it, to be honest with you. I mean,
right.
if you're gonna do a screening for an anime, something like Ancient Magus is probably a good bet to see that on a big screen. I don't know anything about Black Clover. I hear there's something to do with screaming that is driving the anime community crazy, but I haven't watched it yet. For those of you who are new, I exclusively watch stuff that I own, with the exception of a short I'm doing in Mr. Nice Guy Project. And then we've also got Pokémon the Movie, I Choose You Films short trailer previews, additional screenings. So also I hear Pikachu speaks English, and this one talks English. So that's interesting. Kind of don't care.
That's something I always wanted to hear in the very first time I watched the first episode, but.
Well, the thing is that what's interesting about this is that Pikachu, in both the English and Japanese version, they're using the Japanese voice actor because he's just saying Pikachu and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what they do. Other news. I'm just going to run through this news quickly. A lot of this news is completely irrelevant. Cosplayers clean up Ikebukuro during Anime Girls Festival. Ikebukuro, by the way, is the place that Durarara takes place in.
It's amazing that
that's new.
They'll clean there, but not here.
So we've got more news. It's going to seem weird that we're even talking about this. I know Kusabi's English dub adds 4 new cast members. So normally, Augie and I would not be interested in Yaoi news, but what is interesting about this is that it means that Media Blasters is producing more stuff. So they're constantly they constantly seem to be on a lifeline, and every podcast, I feel like when we have a chance, we try to bring them up to see if they're recovering from near death or if they're tipping over the edge of death's warm embrace. So it looks like they're coming back, which is great because I want them to succeed. I want to have more products from them. I have more competition in the industry, and I like them as a company. I've got a great relationship with a lot of people who work there. And then other quick news before we get into the really important stuff. Bobobo gets a Blu-ray box release in Japan. So kind of don't care if that ever comes over here because I've already got the DVDs.
Well, there's a plus to this.
What's that?
It's still speculation, but if something like this happens and there's a previous release of a lower quality, they typically a company would typically want to grab a copy of that just to re-release it. I'm not sure if it's too soon for that to happen, but it would be nice to have appropriate subtitles instead of the 90s translation card.
Yes, that's you bring up a great point, actually. So next up in the news, we've got, I realize I haven't opened this box yet that I said I was going to open. In this corner of the world, anime films long version confirmed. I have no idea what they mean by that, and I haven't sat down and read this article yet.
So it's just like Titanic all over again.
I don't know what happened with it. I've actually never sat down and watched Titanic.
Oh man, you're missing out. So with Titanic, apparently you had the movie release.
Okay.
And if I remember right, when they released the movie, they had different time links for it. Even on home video, there was different time links for.
So was it a director's cut?
I think it was standard movie length and either director's cut or just a longer version. I mean, back in 4th grade, they had like rumors of a 6-hour version of the movie, but I doubt that's even real.
So I just finished opening up. I opened up the new one, and it's in better condition. I have to choose if I'm going to live with the scuff here or not. Another replacement, just to give Amazon another chance because they're sending it back free. So at least there's that. And we talked about this a little bit a while ago. These are not chipboard. You were right. These are just folded cardboard around the boxes. But what are you going to do?
Now, as you're talking, is it doing a speak, or are you still stuck on the news article?
It's on us. What's
okay.
up?
Oh.
Do you want me to go back to the news article? Because I'm about to do that.
Go for it.
Okay, we're going to talk about 7 Seas. 7 Seas licenses Dragon Goes House Hunting manga.
There you go. The ultimate goal of the dragon. No more caves. No more sleeping in the sky and forests. They're getting a house, like modern dragons.
I'm gonna not. Yes, they do. Sorry, FTDM asked if the yes, as you can see, they do have the slip. Sorry, as you can see, they do have the slip covers on the individual seasons. So. It's not like a typical thing where they just stick without the slip cover. So it's slip covers and art boxes, how it's being sold. So I'm going to go ahead and skip showing the next article because I don't want to have to censor it with YouTube's terrible blur faces thing later. It's a little bit risque looking. So 7 Seas licenses My Lesbian Experience with Loneliness sequel manga.
Right.
And I'm going to go ahead and quickly move on. Past that, I'm actually going to close that tab so I don't accidentally click on it again while we're sharing the screen. I wanted to talk about some of this stuff.
7 Seas is releasing more. So just a few hours ago, they announced that they were releasing Tenchimuyo True Light Novel, or True Tenchimuyo, which was something I thought would never happen. along with that is it's a supernatural battle for one girl's heart. Don't know what it is, but it adds more fodder for what they were going to release. Then you have Fairy Tale Battle Royale, which I hope Alice will survive. Then an older one called Claudine. Well,
you need to be
Claudine.
scrolling, or
Yeah, sure, if you want.
Do you need me to be scrolling?
If you want. Yes, please.
Tell me when.
Okay, you can stop.
Okay.
Actually, scroll down a little bit. The other down.
We get the lesbian one again.
No,
that's what I was trying to avoid.
No, you skipped the one above Yamato, which is one I wanted to highlight.
This one. Let them eat
Let's
brains.
see. Let them eat brains, along with how a realist hero rebuilds the kingdom.
Oh, this is actually titled "The Versailles of the Dead." Not this. They're just saying Seven Seas says "Let them eat brains" because it's supposed to, they're referencing Marie Antoinette or whoever said "Let them eat cake" because it's Versailles. Anyway, it's clever.
So,
it was a clever way of putting up the news article.
So they're releasing 2 light novels with a few other manga titles, and lately they've been releasing a lot of the Yamato universe with Battleship Yamato, Captain Harlock, Queen Esmeralda, and I believe Galaxy Express 39, which has a really nice hardcover for their releases, which kudos to them. I've been buying some manga on the side, and I'm kind of surprised that the 3 titles I was buying was straight from them.
Really nice hard cut. You cut out like big time there. You're not moving at all in the video. You're complete. Oh, now you're moving. Okay.
I
think the connection came back.
Where did I cut out at?
Okay, so you were saying they had really nice, and I think you were saying they had really nice hardcover releases.
Yeah, they have really nice hardcover releases, which I've been picking up. Am I still frozen? Ooh. Not responding.
What's on? I'm here. I can hear you.
Okay. You can hear me. So I've been buying some manga, and apparently it's from this same company. So kudos to them. They're picking up stuff that's interesting and drawing the eye.
Yeah, they're becoming they're starting to become a pretty big, like they're discoteching their way into the manga industry. That's probably the only way we can describe this.
They've been here for a while, just like Discotech. I'm kind of hoping
just like Discotech. But what I'm saying is that like Discotech was here for a long time, and then bam, out of nowhere, they're just like release, you know, and it's all stuff that people actually really wanted and nobody had touched for so many years. Seven Seas appears to be doing the exact same thing. I mean, it'd be kind of funny to find out if Seven Seas is owned by Discotech's parent company.
Maybe. What I'm really hoping for,
it'd just be funny.
What I'm really hoping for from this is that Seven Seas will get all of the Slayers light novels, which apparently I think there's 72 plus of those and still ongoing. Instead of releasing like individuals, just kind of throwing the cards out everywhere, release it in a hardcover omnibus and just kind of release it volume per volume.
Okay.
And that's how you would get my wallet. So there you go.
You're cutting out a little bit, but I'm not going to call attention to it so much because I think that it's my internet connection that's causing me to hear it that way. So the version that goes after we're done should have been in there.
Okay. Now I'm hearing static. Are you hearing static?
There you are. You're back.
I'm back.
A little bit. There you go.
Did you hear static?
Okay. I didn't hear static, but I couldn't hear it at all.
I heard static. Okay.
Not ideal right now, guys. I'm sorry about this.
Episode 13. Ooh.
Girlish number. By the way, another show I've recently watched all of was AKB 0048.
That's a fun show. That was done by the guy who created Macross.
It was one of the stupidest storylines I've ever seen ever. But,
probably so, but did you have fun?
It was like Bodacious Space Pirates. It was something I played in the background while working on other projects. So
Okay.
I watched it, but I didn't give it my full attention. So we've also got Initial D. I wouldn't recommend it. One cool thing that they did do is that they hired Juliet Simmons, who's the voice actor for Chio Sakura in Nozaki-kun. They hired her and her sister to play sisters in the show, which was a nice touch, you know. They actually use sisters to play sisters.
So they're re-releasing My Teenage Romantic Comedy Snafu on Blu-ray. Probably a means to earn back the money that they potentially lost from the footage.
Oh yeah, probably. Too bad it doesn't have English dub on it.
Yeah.
Gee, $80, really?
Hey, they want to go the full Blu-ray route. That's what they're going to do.
Jeez. Yeah, but I mean, $80 for just Blu-ray. I could understand $80 for maybe a combo.
I can understand combo. Yeah, for some reason this is a really popular one. I know nothing of it. It looks like a hotel.
I'm trying to just get through my backlog right now. I can't even bother getting invested in something that's coming out. You know,
here's one that was mentioned a while back, 2 podcasts ago.
Did we talk about this one, or did we talk about the other ones from this guy?
We mentioned it briefly, but we didn't fully talk about it.
Yeah, because there's 2 others. There's I think it's called Night on the Galactic Railroad, and there's another one called Spring Chaos. I think
Spring Chaos,
Spring and Chaos, and so this is the Chaos. So that's.
I think there's a third one before this reboot.
Cool.
Can't hear you. Static. There's a lot of static. Cannot hear you. You're frozen. Yeah, you're a little buzzing.
I'm not frozen. You're frozen. This is on you today. All right. So I'm going to go over to Funimation now.
Hold on. I haven't talked about Girlish Number. I believe that's based off of a cell phone game.
Oh God! What is this world coming to? You know, that's the worst thing about cell phones is that, I mean, freaking everything going on with Konami. I'm so not.
Hey, it's their fault for not releasing another Mystical Ninja game.
Yeah, actually, I just finished watching Ganbare Goemon. I literally finished it this morning.
Oh joy!
Yeah.
I still need to watch it.
Legend of the Mystical Ninja, the anime, for anybody who didn't know.
Yeah, if they didn't call him Dr. Wang, it's wrong.
It's a weird show. I also watched all of that Tokyo Pig best of DVD.
There you go.
That was a lot of fun, that show. Anyway, so Yuri on Ice is coming to Funimation.
And the good news is it doesn't look like it's going to come with glitter. So, hooray.
Well, we'll see.
I hope it doesn't.
It's never getting opened when I get my copy. Keijo.
That's going to be fun.
Keijo. Yeah, my sister-in-law is one of the characters in this show.
Okay. Akiba Strip is having fun with playing tag and smashing vampires.
Okay. Interesting. Is there a video game of this too?
Yes, there's a video game released by Atlas. Maybe NIS, I forgot which.
Fairy Tale Collection 11. I have still not started Fairy Tale.
Monster
Hunter Stories.
That's fun.
I'm interested in that one. Yeah. Token Ranbo Hanamaru.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Looks generic.
All Out is
All
rugby.
Out. This is the rugby one?
Yeah, Janet really likes that.
Yeah. I wonder why. Dragon Ball Super Part 3, that's good to know. So that's coming out in February. I've already watched it all, actually.
Releasing it a lot faster now.
Yeah, that's well. The 39th episode just aired on, which is where this goes to.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the way from episode was it 21 to 39, or it would be 27 to 39. I've been watching the Toonami the dub, and they just got through episode 39. Like, so I don't know how they're going to get any faster, because I mean, this is late February, so it's a couple months away. It's like, was that like 5 months away now?
Yeah, but it was almost 6 months before we saw another pre-order for volume
the next
2.
one out until like, say what?
Yeah, but it was like 6 months later we saw a pre-order for volume 2.
Yeah, so hopefully I'm hoping they get there quick, because I'm dying to see the future Trunks arc, which I think is the next one after the, what is this, the tournament, the universe tournaments.
Yeah, the first universe tournament.
I'm really happy about this. I'm definitely going to throw down on pre-ordering this, just because very happy that Funimation has looked at their previous release and decided to continue with that theme. Also, obviously, just want to see season 2, and I don't want to see the crappy broadcast version that everybody else watched.
It's only released in 1 volume for me, not 2.
Is it? What do you mean?
For the DVD
this is
release,
all of season 2 instead of the original one. Let me double check real quick.
Yeah, I have it like right here. So you have like volume 1 and volume 2, and in this case, they just boom, jazz hands.
And those are the ones. So did you have the art box?
No.
Okay.
I couldn't afford it back then. I didn't have this job.
Hold on. Astro Boy QRST, it's got to be right here.
Serious. This is my job.
Well,
I saw Animal House in theaters a year ago.
all right. So did they do... They did DVD height for the... that's what I was checking, the Blu-ray DVD combo. So hopefully... It's not looking too good with you. Oh, wrong mouse. It's not looking too good, but hopefully the this guy is also DVD height and not Blu-ray, because this looks like it's Blu-ray height. But the actual...
Probably.
The original one that they did was, this is DVD height. If I just grab a DVD. See? So I'm going to be ticked if they don't... If they went to all this trouble and they don't actually look correct next to each other, because Attack on Titan Junior High, or whatever this is called, this is Blu-ray height. Or,
well,
yeah,
for
it's
me,
Blu-ray height.
well, for me, it kind of works together. And Kodansha's on all 3, so there you go.
Let me see it.
I need to do this.
Show it again, because the camera was on me.
Yeah, it looks.
Yeah, but you got the. I've got the limited edition, though, is what I'm saying. I have the limited edition.
Where are your flags?
My flags? I don't think I got the flags. I think there was an option to get them, but when I realized what it was, because I think Funimation had a. We got so much chat to catch up on. Hey, Mr. Nice Guy just popped in. Totally forgot my train of thought. So there was 2 separate releases that came out. Funimation had one that they were doing, and then I realized it turned out to just be it basically the season 1 version of this plus a bunch of crap I didn't want. So I ended up just getting this for the season 1 version. Anyway, so we've also got Izetta, Sacred Riders. What?
Hold up. Let's get back to that page. Izetta the Last Switch. That was a fun one. It was a Yuri one, but I enjoyed it quite well.
Nothing wrong with Yuri.
And then you have Zex doing something with bicycles.
Yeah, Scar Red Riders. I think I said Sacred Rider before. Scar Red Riders X complete series sub only. It's interesting. You don't see a lot of Funimation that's sub only, or that's specifically labeled sub only. By the way, since this podcast is magic, I'm just going to put this out into the universe right now that Discotech needs to release a Blu-ray of City Hunter
Yes, yes. We need more City Hunter in our lives. Maybe some.
Maybe a dub for the show. That'd be nice. But I don't know
how a dub for the show. Maybe Angel Heart.
Oh yeah, Angel Heart would be amazing. Anybody who can get Angel Heart would be my new favorite company.
Then again, if they can just release that last movie for City Hunter.
I thought they got all the movies. Didn't they release all the movies?
Farewell Rio.
I'm pretty sure
Rio.
That's a combo pack on one of them.
No. We don't have the last movie.
Conspiracy. I don't know. Yeah, maybe you're right.
I do know. We don't have it.
Okay. I can't get this tab to load for some reason. It keeps suspending instead of there it goes. All right, so we're gonna fill in the gaps real quick, and then we're gonna move on to So you got it pre-ordered already?
I have that pre-ordered. I do not have that pre-ordered.
Looking forward to watch the non-broadcast version. So I cut it out. What were you saying?
Yeah, don't worry.
You mentioned you were saying something. New game, complete first season.
That's already out.
You sent me these links. I'm just going on. It says pre-order price guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches. A lot of witch anime coming out.
That one.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I like Magic.
One Piece Collection 21. Good to see that's still coming out at least. Digimon Adventure Try Confession.
There you go.
Dragonor Academy. Ace Attorney. Cabaneri the Iron Fortress. We talked about a lot of these in the last podcast. Actually, I don't see anything. Too new.
Yeah, nothing too new right now.
Right, let's
we see the Maizutome box. So
but we already kind of talked about that.
So
in the last
next.
Podcast. So here's we're still filling in the blanks. Here's on Right Stuff. Is there anything that we didn't talk about?
They updated.
Yeah, we just went through all these. Well, Tales from Mercy getting re-released.
Mercy's getting re-released, and I believe Pom Pom's going to be re-released.
They're all getting re-released. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. First season of Miraculous Tales
Ladybug
and Cat Noir, season 1.
Blade of the Immortal has a live-action movie. There's that. And
pre-orders are up for what Media Blaster's been working on.
Cool. Photon the Idiot getting a re-release. Barefoot Gen's got a re-release. Lupin Third Part 2 Collection 2. Did that already come out?
That is about to come out. It'll come out the day after.
It says it's a top seller.
Yeah. Well,
Oh no, it does say pre-release or pre-order, or is it on the bottom? Or it's on the bottom, so it would be. It comes out the day after
December
Christmas.
26th.
Okay, cool. I'm probably gonna wait for pre. I usually like to buy Lupin stuff at Anime Expo directly from Discotech, but I might pre-order it just so that their initial numbers look even better, because I want them to keep releasing stuff. So I don't see anything I don't see anything we didn't really talk about last time.
Yeah.
These Go Shogun, Marmalade Boy. Yeah. So anyway, one last thing I want to bring up.
Aria's up for Slacker Backer, and you had to be, for a cheaper price, you had to been one of the backers to at least back $1 to get the real price.
Yeah. Okay, so I got one more thing I want to bring up. I saw this. I don't remember even how I stumbled across this article. Oh, yes, I do. I was looking up Nobody's Boy Remy stuff. Came across this article from November 9th. Throwback Thursday, original CD Tom Taus Jr. launches digitally restored film. So, at first glance, this doesn't look like anything, but if you were a Filipino in your early 30s, chances are you know who CD is. Funny if not, because he was one of the most popular Japanese anime characters of our childhood. At the time when the television dictates the course of pop culture, CD was already making a name. The era of early 1990s also popularized Princess Sarah, Nobody's Boy Remy, Dog of Flanders, and the Twins of Destiny, yada yada, a lot of stuff. So anyway, I read this article. Augie read this article. was if there was actually going to be a physical release or not.
I did read it. It felt more like, hey, look at this DJ. He did a really good job.
Yeah, it was weird. But I don't know, to see where this goes, if it goes anywhere. So if it goes anywhere, you heard it here first. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and leave the call on this computer for now, just to give us a little bit less bandwidth usage here. And let's catch up with the chat, because this has been going for a while. I haven't talked about it.
Right.
Heard some interesting stuff here. So let's see. Let's see here. Check the comment on the last podcast. Quite the compliment. I heard they're making Fist of the Blue Sky anime. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, though. Fist of the Blue Sky.
They've already had a Fist of the Blue Sky anime.
He says they're remaking it.
Okay.
I heard somewhere that they were licensing it over here. I don't know if that's true.
That would be nice. However, that would have been one of the titles that we would have went over.
Yeah, but those weren't licenses. Those were pre-orders. Those were things where
the news would have.
Well, yeah, that's true. You're right. Okay. Wishful thinking then. So let's speak it into existence, because we have this magical podcast where it seems like everything we talk about gets licensed. So let's do that. Let's see. As soon as he says leave the call, it works again. Yeah, because I'm planning to. Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. It's the issue is that I've got internet going on 2 computers right now, both in the call and all that, and it's the internet's already just been real crappy lately. I heard they were going to do that too, Genshin. No one likes DBZ subbed anyway, JK. That's still sad. Oh, yeah, no, it is. With voice actor for Bulma.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Ayres thing freaks me out. It must be terrifying. If he smoked like Greg Ayres, then it would just be a sad shame.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second.
One second. Read what he says.
Is it Greg? See, I always confuse Chris Ayres with Greg Ayres. Greg Ayres is the terrorist, right? No, Greg Ayres is the voice. Who's the terrorist guy?
Beats me. You're the one who remembers the terrorist. Greg Ayres is the older brother, apparently.
Okay.
And
did he die?
No.
Yeah, he's the one I was thinking of when it was. Okay. Bill Ayres, that's the terrorist.
Yeah.
That's the left-wing terrorist guy who bombed all those places. I always get them confused, and I never think that it's Bill Ayres, but I always forget that Bill Ayres' name is Bill Ayres and not Greg Ayres when I hear it. So it always throws me off. So I actually don't know Chris Ayres. I think Greg Ayres did the original voice of Frieza or something. I don't know. He's got a very specific voice. He's the one. I think he's the voice of the Jewish kid in the English dub of Ghost Stories.
Yeah,
is Greg Ayres. Anyway, all right. So that makes more sense now. Okay.
So, are you done with your Fresh Prince of Bel-Airs?
Yes. Reset shame. Okay, so boycott Funimation until they get rid of those goddamn slightly thinner single case limited editions coming out. If you're going to boycott Funimation, boycott them over changing the context of dubs to have like a feminist agenda on them.
Yeah.
Doing a perfectly good Keijo limited edition. Orange is fine as a single limited edition, though. Just pissed I paid the same price for 2/3 the product. Theatrical release is part of a show is stupid. Yeah, I agree. And Black Clover's generic, nothing special at all. I'm surprised they got Todd Habercorn for that Yowie dub.
How are you surprised by that?
I hope it's a Blu-ray over here with that. Oh, crap, beauty.
Corner of the world,
in this corner of the world news, I don't think that is old news. The in this corner of the world release is old news, but them getting the longer version or whatever it is,
the longer version's new.
That's what the news was.
Genshin. The point of me bringing that up as well is I waited about 4 years for My Miracle to be released, all because he was working on that movie.
Genshin says, I haven't seen Bobobo since it was on Toonami/Adult Swim. That moment when he summoned Yami Yugi. Oh, I didn't even know. That's hilarious. Does that actually happen? That's hilarious. The dude is either I hear there's a clip in Beyblade where they show Moses parting the Red Sea with a giant Beyblade. I can't wait to see that. The dude is either remaking it or sending it to full potential, entering parts he wanted to include. By the way, the DBZ Blu-ray set, yes, I already mentioned that one. So let's see. We need Gash Bell. We have Gash Bell.
Zach Bell was re-released over here under new video.
Recently. From...
Well, not too recently, like 4 years ago.
From Flatiron Film Company.
Oof. Luckily, that's dubbed.
Yeah.
So no delayed subtitles unless you want to see delayed subtitles and properly italics subtitles that aren't italics. So continuing the chat, we need Zach Bell.
My PC crashed when you said yes. They come with slipcovers. Kitchen says, glad you're back after you. I hope the Yamato manga release.
Cancel. Kira.
I think actually at the gym, I think that anime, I think that the company that released that still has that license. Because I bought it way late in the game, and I got new copies easily of all of Star Blazers. So I think they still have the license, believe it or not.
I'm kind of glad to hear about it. I just don't know of what quality that release is, because I keep hearing it's sandpaper quality, then I hear it's great quality. So I don't know.
I am not going to open mine because those art boxes are really clean. I mean, those are some of the cleanest looking art boxes I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I feel like as soon as I open it, they're just gonna be ruined. FDM says, I canceled my Akira box set pre-order back then because I needed the money for more anime. I need to get back to buying it. Yes, I'd like to have that Akira. He's talking about the manga art box that was recently released. It's got this really cool looking case for it. I'd like to have that too. I don't really want to pay for it though, so I'm not going to get it. I love Seven Seas. They have a division called Ghost Ship now. To Love Ru manga used to say Seven Seas, but now it says Ghost Ship as its licensor. Seven Seas I thought did a lot of ecchi and stuff, but they do get a lot of stuff I want. To Love Ru took forever. Cutie Honey says hello. Hey, Cutie Honey 30.
Hey, Cutie Honey.
I love the dude who made Macross Aquarian Escaflowne more, particularly for Aquarion. I have never actually sat down and watched Aquarion, but I do love Escaflowne and Macross.
Well, I got it 2 podcasts ago.
FTDM says, wait, I forgot. Chihayarofuru is a 2-parter sharing the same limited edition. They have a spacer in the limited edition. Okay. Genshin says, I wished we would get a Blu-ray of Neon Genesis Evangelion. I have the Platinum Collection, and I have a severely damaged copy of End of Evangelion, which didn't... It's not hard to get. If you want to get another copy of it, it's not terribly hard to get. Fortunately, thought I just acquired a sealed copy for $15, which is still... Okay, fortunately, yeah, okay. Yes. Spoke too soon. You're already on it. Good. Yeah, it's kind of interesting now that you guys mention it, because who has that license right now? I wonder if Sentai's inherited it through ADV or if it's up in the air. There's probably a bidding war going on for it right now because it's a major seller. That's for sure. Somebody might already actually have it and be working on like just the ultimate collection for it. I can tell you, FDM wants to know what my sister-in-law voices in Keijo. I think that might have been her first role in voice acting. She voices Sanae Hoen in Keijo. Genshin says, I know that's what confused me. I don't know if the guy who sold either didn't know what he had or Both. It's not terribly hard to get. People, for a long time, people were selling End of Evangelion for way more than it was worth. People inflated the price incorrectly, I think. I only have the first 3 collections of Fairy Tail, so I'm behind on it myself. Says John Shane. Mr. Nice Guy popped in. And Augie's been popping out a lot in this podcast. If you get Attack on Titan Part 2 limited edition without Bix, you are the ultimate fool of life. What is Bix? FDDM box. Okay, there you go. Yes, agreed. This is an awesome podcast. Awesome. Thank you. Glad you guys like it. I love noir anime. I think that's why cyberpunk is my overall favorite subgenre. When you say noir, you mean the genre? Yeah, you must mean the genre, not the actual anime noir, because that anime wasn't that good. It had all this potential, and it wasn't. Dragonfish is the best one, and Attack on Titan is one of the worst releases ever, saved by the additional box, but man, is it a mess. We'll see. Noir soundtrack is excellent. Yes, that is true. All right, getting to the end of the chat. Good. I hope the Alita live-action movie turns out well, even though it takes place at the beginning of the manga. I'd rather see an adaptation of the Motorball arc or the Zot tournament. I understand the film has to appeal to the mass audience. Yeah. For me, I think all they got to do, all they have to do is, in order to do a good adaptation, my theory has always been, you need to not shackle yourself to the source material. I think you just gotta, if you're gonna do an adaptation for Western audience, that's what you're doing. You're not doing a book to film, page for page adaptation. You know, you have to make changes, and the audience has to go in expecting there to be changes and recognizing why changes are made, and then you can enjoy it. They're doing a remake, if memory serves. Greg Ayres voiced Neggy Springfield, among others. I was just kidding about the boycotting thing. I just used that word because everyone uses it. Yeah. And I was surprised they got Todd Habercorn because he isn't an Anime Works actor ever, really. And Zash Bell has 150 episodes on My Anime List. Did they cut down by 50 episodes worth of the kids' localization? They may have. I don't know. Or just never finished it because they got cut off from. I'm not sure. Gonna have to look up Sanae and or whoever. Then yeah, she's a minor character in that in Keijo because it was her first role, I think. Heck yeah, your sister-in-law's career prosper. Yeah, may yours. Okay, and cool. All right, Augie's back, and I'm all caught up. So let's should we talk about. Well, as soon as Augie's back.
Yeah, there we
fully
go.
Back. All right.
Okay.
Should we talk about Golden Boy or Salaryman Kintaro?
Yeah, let's.
First, I want to bring up the interesting thing that happened by chance is that we picked 2 anime in the last podcast where the main character's name is Kintaro.
Me, I was going to say that.
Okay, sorry.
Keep going. Yeah, so we both watched a series about Kintaro, a boy who's inspiring, however, also slightly degrading towards his peers and everyone around him. Both are involved with some sort of 2-wheeled vehicle. And
Augie is pointing out that there's a lot of crazy similarities between the two that we watch. Let me ask you this. Did anybody actually watch Salaryman Kintaro besides Augie and I?
Sadly, these are words.
FTD&M says we should play his Golden Boy review on stream to get his exact thoughts on Golden Boy out there.
Let me ask you this, FTD&M. How do you like my swimming?
What?
Oh, from Golden Boy?
Yeah, no, I get it, but why are you bringing that up?
That was hilarious.
That is a hilarious scene. My favorite scene in Golden Boy, since we're just going to jump in, is when that guy's trying to unbutton the girl's blouse, and then Kintaro's on the other side, like, oh no, you don't. And then he goes to unzip her pants, and then he zips them back up. That's probably my favorite scene. The How Do You Like My Swimming is a pretty good one though. I think that Golden Boy is a really good example of an anime based on a manga where they adapted the manga differently for the anime and did a phenomenal job on what they chose to adapt, how they chose to adapt it, and how all the first 5 episodes tie into the 6th episode. I thought that was brilliant.
Oh,
I really liked that, how they handled everything in the creation of it. And it's got one of the weirdest dubs ever, and it totally works, which is one of my favorite things about it.
Oh yeah, they took like some person who does, I guess, hentai, I'm just guessing here, and finally gave him a role to do, and I guess he was serious the whole time.
I just love the way that he talks.
Oh yeah.
Throughout most of it.
Watching for scorpions?
I sure am. I thought I heard something just now. It wasn't the normal noise, though.
Yeah. What I liked about, you're talking about production, I think this is one of the very few MTV Japan productions that they've done.
By the way, I actually did buy the 2 individual DVDs from the Media Blasters release. Is that who released it originally?
Yep.
Yeah. They haven't arrived yet. So I mentioned that in the last podcast. I thought I was going to do that. I did it, but I did it like 2 days ago. So just mentioning.
Let's see. Then you have the Homer Simpson reenactment scene. With the motorcyclist, which I remember watching the show like with some high key points, like the motorcycle girl, the swimming, and the him going into animation. But rewatching this, there's like a whole bunch of stuff I forgot, and it made the show even more enjoyable.
I think that the motorcycle one is the weakest one, but I like the tie-in. I can't stress enough how smart they were in choosing which stories to tell and how to have them tie into the last episode.
Yeah, you have that. For that one episode, the episode that you don't like, what I kind of like about it is it shows us more the culture that we probably wouldn't know unless you are that high class, like how they train the servants.
Yeah.
But pretty much it was the motorcycle lady that made the episode.
Yeah. I think my favorite overall episode is probably the first one. But my favorite moment, like I said, is the one where he re-buttons up the shirt. It's the animation in that gag is so funny.
You can definitely say Kintaro knows how to suck an egg in underwater. Oh man, yes, he's a perfect.
It says, I just love how Kintaro destroys at every occupation he takes up. Yeah, the person who go ahead.
So with Kintaro, for those who haven't seen it, he almost graduated with his law degree at Tokyo U. The only thing he had to do, he passed every class. The only thing he had to do was just walk. So he decided not to do it and continued his career of taking short jobs across the land, learning everything around him.
What does he call himself? A timer? What is it? He has a specific name for what he calls himself, as somebody who intentionally takes a bunch of part-time jobs to learn a lot.
Yes, he has to study. Yeah.
The guy who introduced me to Golden Boy, my friend Jake, he's just like that. I mean, he's not super perverted or whatever like the guy, but he is exactly like that, where he picks up like a new thing to learn every like couple of months, and he like dives in. It's crazy how much like he'll be any hobby he takes up, he becomes an expert at in a month, so it was really it's like there's like a little added thing for me because the character is so similar. Frieder, I think that was the term.
Frieder. Okay. Let's see. So along with this show, you have like some side stuff in the background working with the main stuff. Like you're introduced to this character, and there's some high school girls commenting about obnoxious people just listening to their Walkman and loudly singing about not caring in the world.
Yeah, which is what he's doing.
Here enters the character.
Yeah. And then that one episode with the swimming one where he's following the girl in the leather, And he's like saying you are perceiving it as though he's thinking these really dirty thoughts, and then it turns out he's saying them out loud right behind her about the leather and everything.
Ooh. I don't know. I think he was actually saying it, but she just didn't care.
But it was they play it off really comedically. But
then you have the different animation styles. Like one scene will look like simplistic and kind of rubbery. The other, and in other scenes, you see like this full detailed crooked smile teeth.
And what's really funny is that they specifically brought that up in the final episode.
Oh yeah.
When he's working at the animation studio, and they talk about how all animators have their own style, and it's this guy's job to make the match or whatever.
Oh yeah. Then you have then you have the poster of Golden Girl in the background.
Yeah, So. I think there's also a copy of the Golden Boy manga in one of the episodes.
There you go.
If I remember correctly.
So AC, if I never said this before, thank you for being a friend.
All right, so what do you guys think about Golden Boy? Did anybody? It's been kind of a weird 2 weeks. Did anybody else watch it? FTDM says he was busy with Ushio and Tora. Couldn't have just been us, though, right? I mean, come on. Otherwise, I'm ready to move on to my now third favorite anime, Salaryman Kintaro. Did you finish the live action movie, by the way?
Yes. That was a very easy sit down to watch movie.
It was, because it was the last arc of the anime put to film, basically.
It threw in some first arc stuff that would make more sense.
Yeah, well, they had to, because they needed you to know and be introduced to and care about certain characters for certain things that happened in the last arc to actually play out.
That was a pretty tame fire for filming.
Yeah. Well, but that's a real actor in real fire. You know, I feel like, yeah. And also, so I haven't finished it yet. Like I started watching it, but as I said, I've been working on that Evangelion thing, so I haven't really, I haven't had a chance to finish it. I've got about an hour left, so I'm only about halfway through the movie. That fire in the anime, I don't want to give too much away, but it's kind of crucial that the father of the kid he saves doesn't see him save him in the anime. And in the movie, I'm interested to see where that goes. Did they resolve that okay?
It was how it resolves. You've seen it, because the person you think it is that person that shows up later, but it isn't the first person. And I know that doesn't make sense to the audience, but I think that would make sense to you, AC.
Yeah. Meant rewatching.
For the live action movie, the pace for a 2-hour movie or an hour 50 minutes, it didn't even feel
so paranoid
anywhere that length whatsoever.
It was good. It was easy to get through because it was the same arc as the show.
Oh, yeah, same arc as the show. There's some character. They have different splicings for obvious reasons to try to get you, the viewer, interested in this show.
Or the manga, yeah.
Or manga. Yeah.
Or the live action drama. Who knows? Who knows what their aim was? Then
again, there are some nitpicks I have. Like some of the casting, like the owner of the company, he did not look like who he was in the anime. He kind of looks like the dancing old man in a Betty Boop cartoon.
When did this movie? 1999. This must have been.
Yeah, that had been 1999 because you had a flat screen. This came out when we were in fourth grade.
I think this came out before the anime.
Probably.
That's interesting, actually.
So maybe the other way around.
So the anime came out over here in 2005, but I'm pretty sure that it was 2000 when the actual. I don't know where I would see that on the. Usually they just have it here on the thing, but like they'll have copyright. They'll have 2 separate copyrights, one for the license and one for the. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, oh yeah, and then the DVDs came with these these like cut them out yourself trading cards.
Yeah.
Forgot about those. Anyway, so
sadly for Volume 5, since I went the PAL version, the UK version, same release, just different area. It didn't come with those.
I'm thinking about buying the UK box. Oh, my version 5 didn't come with it.
Okay, so awesome. There might be a chance it didn't have those.
Maybe. I'll have to ask Kitty, who I bought them from, if Volume 4 doesn't have them either. Maybe it's just Volume 1. Does your Volume 4 have it?
I will say yes.
Volume 3 is missing it. Volume 2 has it. So Volume 1 and 2 both have it. The rest of them don't.
My Volume 1 does have it. My Volume 2 through 4 should have it. As they're still sealed.
Oh, okay.
I have seen the show. I will confirm that.
Yeah. So, favorite moment
of the movie?
No, in the show or the movie. Probably the show, because they're basically the same. What was your favorite scene? It's kind of hard. It's a hard choose, isn't it?
I'll go with.
What do you think about the part on the train? The part on the train when they walk in on the politician taking a dump.
That was a good scene. Like, it starts up that way, but as it goes and continues and carries it, the anime had a really good time showing a sense of community.
Yeah, and that one line where he says he's the kind of politician who doesn't mind showing you his asshole, but will never show you what he really thinks.
There you
go. There were some lines in the subtitles that would just like there's like the standard level everything you expect to hear from an anime, and then all of a sudden every once in a while there'd be a line you're like, I can't believe I just read that. Like, I can't believe they went there. You know, that was one of those lines.
The second time he gets into a fight, not the first time, because how that scene drew out with the intensity. This is the fight on top of the roof. Mm-hmm. Top of the roof. He's obviously getting beaten down, but he's able to continue the fight with a point. And he made his point. Then later on, the resolve is be cautious of your actions for consequences. The first time he gets into a fight, there was no reason for that. Regarding the guy with the car. What happened in this scene was it was late at night. Kintaro was asleep, and some woman's yelling at him. So he peeks outside, and
that woman is the daughter or granddaughter of the people that raised Kintaro.
Right.
Sorry.
So she's drunk. She's with a boyfriend or some.
And he was fancy. The son of the Yakuza boss.
Right. And all he was doing was being nice for her to drive by, then drive off.
Yeah, so but when Kintaro confronted them,
he confronted him. Well, I would too. He jumped out in the middle of the street while I was driving. Mm-hmm. I kind of side with the Yakuza guy for this one, because Crazy Man just jumped out at me.
One of the things that's really funny about Salaryman Kintaro is that everybody, even his adversaries, eventually come to love him. It's just like Golden Boy, right? Except that, for instance, he's not a good dad. Not at all. No. He puts his son in so many dangerous situations. There's a scene in episode 6 at the very end. They have all the my favorite thing about the show, like literally the reason it's my third favorite anime, is because at the end of every episode, they have a cliffhanger, and they're ridiculous, right? So they have this scene where he's seeing off this woman at a train station, and his son is like a baby. Like he's probably 3, maybe no, he's probably 2 or 3 years old, right? He's really tiny, you know, in like a full onesie and crawling stage, right? So
Right.
he's reading this letter that this woman who just got on the train gave to him, and she's like thanking him for all stuff while he's reading it. His son is standing on the or he's, you know, crawling on the platform or sitting and eating candy. A candy drops onto the tracks. The kid starts to fall into the tracks as a train is coming by, and then all of a sudden Kintaro's like, oh shit, he like grabs the kid and he jumps across the platform and gets hit by the train. It's so freaking insane. My favorite part in the show is another one of those ending things where they do a freeze frame. They have this part where he in the last arc, he's dealing with this very stubborn it's basically his boss at the company, like the person he's working directly under. The guy's very stubborn and he's frustrated at this guy, right? So he walks out of this building, looks up into the sky, and you see like a semi-transparent image of the guy's like head, you know, floating in the sky. And Kintaro gets pissed and he jump punches into the sky at this floating disembodied head, and it freeze frames. He's like, ah! He's like punching the head. It's so freaking funny. It's my favorite part in the whole show.
Oh. You have scenes like that. Then at the beginning, you have like some weird transitions between scenes, as if it was like a 90s screensaver at first, or a 90s PowerPoint, where it like crossfades in different ways, like checkerboard going.
Yeah, they did have some very dated transitions.
Yeah, but then after like episode 6, maybe 8, apparently the show probably had budget and was able to continue without doing that.
Well, to that point, in the last podcast, when I mentioned I didn't think you guys would be missing much, I had only watched volume 1, which is only 4 episodes. The show picks up at episode 6 to 8, like in that range. So it's interesting you bring that up, because it's very possible that they did start to get a budget. The writing improved, the animation improved, everything started to get better. And it really sucks you in after that point. So,
but we didn't describe the important thing. What is this show? The show is about Kintaro becoming a salaryman. Right. Oh my, what shock. So before the show starts, his wife or fancy dies. He's stuck raising a son alone. And I'll reveal this plot point. He starts out as a fisherman because of his wife's daddy's business. So as he was randomly swimming one day, he swam across this sailboat that was just stranded in the middle of the ocean. He gets picked up, and it was the owner of this construction company. The two talked, laughed it up, enjoyed themselves while eating some fish, and he brought him back to safety on shore, which he granted him a wish, and he wanted to become a salaryman. And before he met his wife, he was a king. He was a rock star leader of a bicycle gang or motorcycle gang.
And like he has like tens of thousands of followers because he's a weirdly charismatic character, right?
Oh,
yeah. He just, there's a way about him that people want to follow him because of his resolve and his personality, that even if he's fighting you, by the end of the fight, you respect him, you know, that kind of thing. So I don't want to ruin the final arc, but
for me, he kind of reminds me of a blend of from Great Teacher Onizuka and City Hunter Ryusaiba, in the aspect of he's an ass. He may seem dopey sometimes, but he will get something done. And
Kintaro
you will remember
is much less of an ass than Ryo.
Yeah, depends on what episode for Ryo.
Yeah, well, there's like 1 or 2 episodes where he genuinely.
If you want specific episodes, I would say the time that he was facing
the younger
off the
girl in Rio in City Hunter, the younger the girl, the better behaved Rio is.
Yeah. But you know which episode I'm talking about? The one with the boxing.
I just finished Collection 1 Part 1.
Yeah, that was in that set.
Oh, the boxing one where he shot the guy through the ear. Yeah.
Yep.
By the way, anybody watching who has the City Hunter box sets released by ADV, can you tell me if yours are ghosting like really bad? I have this thing where if the shot goes from, let's say, a person's face to like a dark background, the face will remain there and fade away like for a long time. It's crazy how long it lasts. So,
yeah, that clip that you showed me of it had some really big vector lines. Anything else for Golden Boy and Salaryman Kintaro?
I actually watched Kintaro. Sorry, I watched Salaryman Kintaro. I marathoned almost the whole thing the night of the last podcast. So it's been a long time since I watched it. It's been 2 weeks now. So, that reminds me. I have another pickup. Okay, so this is not in the correct frame because it's not a standard size. I just stuck it in this bigger frame to protect it. I got this sick City Hunter poster. Speaking of City Hunter,
that is a lot huger.
Yeah, it's a lot bigger than it seemed like it was going to be in the eBay listing. But yeah, it's from City Hunter.
It's just going to be 2 foot.
Let me click on my screen so that it stops clicking away. There we go. Yeah, so it's 29.5 by 20, I think. So, or 28.5, and the standard sizes are 28 or 30, but it's 20 by 28 or 20 by 30, and it's like 28.5. So I have to get either a custom frame, which costs way too much money, by the way, or I have to get a different size and just have like a lip or something. I don't know. So for now, I'm just gonna leave it in there. But
would it be cheaper to buy some? This is City Hunter 91. Would it be cheaper to buy plexiglass and just make your own frame?
It was on. Go back and show that again because it was the camera was on me.
This is City Hunter 91.
Yeah, it's only 13 episodes.
Yeah, so with City Hunter, the original series is 52. City Hunter 2 is 62. Then
no, I think the
City
first
Hunter
one is 63.
That's the second one.
I think you're wrong. Sorry, but I do. I think you're wrong.
You know what? Pull up the ANN list.
I'm just gonna pull up Anime Planet because I can see them both there real quick.
Okay.
By the way,
32,
I've been talking
31.
behind the scenes with 51. Yeah, you're right. 51, and the next one is 63. Yep, Augie was right. So I talked a little bit behind the scenes with the creator of Anime Planet a little while ago, and I don't want to give. I mean, it was. I don't think that the conversation wasn't something that they wanted to keep private, but just for the sake of respecting them, I will. But basically, there's a new feature coming to the site in December that should be pretty cool. So look forward to that. Or at least they're going to try to launch it in December, pardon. And the creator of the site went through and sort of ranted to me for a while about because I had mentioned on Twitter about how it was shocking to me that the only anime YouTubers that seem to use Anime Planet are me and that anime snob. We're the only people that I see using it. Everybody else is using my anime list. And because I had tagged Anime Planet in the tweet, the creator Sothis was talking to me through direct messaging and had gone through the list of all the features that Anime Planet came out with first that other sites stole. And they keep coming out with, like, I don't know why anybody goes for my anime list, because the only thing, in my opinion, that my anime list has that Anime Planet doesn't is that they have adult titles. They have a big library of adult titles. So if you wanted to mark that you watch that, then that's available. That's the only thing that I see. And then they've also got an app. That's the other thing that is a major leg up. But yeah, I'm just constantly going to be shilling for Anime Planet because I've been a member of the site since the year they launched. So I'm a huge fan of it since long before my plant launched. But back to
the final question on Salaryman, Kintaro, and Golden Boy, and the live action movie that we surprised people. Would you recommend it?
Yeah, I'd recommend all three.
Me too.
Absolutely. The live action movie, I think that the anime is better. The live action movie is not bad. It's by Takashi Miike. It's one of his early works. It's interesting to see. It's interesting to see his style change from Salaryman, Kintaro, or as the for whatever reason this cracked me up. The U.S. release of the live action movie for Salaryman Kintaro was titled White Collar Worker Kintaro, but then in the subtitles they refer to him as Salaryman all the time.
Oh yeah, did you notice in the corner it kind of similar to the sun? He's like punching the top of this guy.
Yeah, I thought that was funny too. That's Takashi Miike, the director, by the way. Anyway, but the funny thing is that the subtitles on this have a lot of errors, not translation errors, but like, for instance, there's one thing where the guy says somebody is quoting an old like proverb, and it has quotation mark, the text, and then it goes down to the next line, and the quotation mark again, but that quotation mark should have been at the end of the first line. You know what I mean? And it's just like there's little weird stuff like that. Like there'll be a space, like a word will be separated by a space when it shouldn't be. There's weird stuff going on with the subtitling back then. But and also the what is this? The Pathfinder Home Entertainment, like the splash screen stuff in the DVD menu is so pixelated. I can't believe how bad it looks. But the actual movie looks really good. So.
Didn't the beginning of it kind of remind you of FHE Entertainment, like the old VHSs for Ninja Turtles?
Family Home Entertainment?
Yeah.
Kind of, because they had that pencil.
It's a pen that draws.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. For the white collar part for Salaryman Kintaro, or whatever you want to call this Kintaro, he worked for a construction company to manage deals and mitigate workers for this construction company.
Yeah. He worked for Yamato Construction, and it's an interesting journey through the anime. Since, like I keep saying, our podcast is magic. I would actually buy the manga if it ever got released over here. So 7 Seas, if you're listening.
If anything, the anime, sadly, at the end, kind of where it leaves off, it kind of advertises subtly to buy the manga for more adventures, which I'm interested. So it's done its job.
Yeah, it ends. It's like it's one of those anime where like I feel like they stopped it in an appropriate place. Like one of the worst anime in terms of I'm not saying the anime is bad, but just it suffers from peaking too early is Rurouni Kenshin. The Makoto Shishio arc ends, and it's all downhill from there because you just can't top Shishio, you know.
Well, technically, season 3 was a filler arc, and ironically, that's when the show got canceled.
For what?
Rurouni Kenshin? Yeah.
Oh, you mean? Well, it's got like 100. The seasons keep changing how long they can be, you know.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it gets real crappy in terms of just well, partially it's because Stephen J. Bloom was such an incredible Shishio, and like just everything in that fight is just so insane that you can't top it. You just can't.
And for a reminder for me, Shishio is the fire mummy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then again, the Samurai X movies are pretty good.
Are good, but those are OVA. Those are separate. Those are different things. And by the way, in Japan, they're not even called Samurai X. They're just called Rurouni Kenshin. They're just Samurai X is the title.
X was the ultimate title, but the show's called Rurouni Kenshin.
Samurai X is the title that ADV went with because Anime Works had Rurouni Kenshin.
Right.
So they used a different title, is how I understand it, at least. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and skip most of this chat where you guys are talking about 2BTV.
Why stream when you can slap your friends with hard media?
I buy the...
Oh yeah, the poll.
Yes, nobody's popped back in on that. Okay, so FDM says he got the Pokemon Season 1 Blu-ray. That is a really nice looking Blu-ray set. It's actually my turn to do the... I don't have it, but it's my turn to do the box set showcase. I'll pick that one. It's designed to look like a Pokedex, and then each disc is a Pokemon. It's pretty cool.
At least show the pictures on the podcast.
I don't have the pictures. I saw it on Facebook, and I don't have that. I didn't save the post.
So I believe this is the U.S. manga release for the European Blu-ray of Pokemon.
No, there's a Season 1 of Pokemon as a Blu-ray coming out. Where is it? Here it is, Season 1. Yeah, I can't find more than just the cover here.
Oh yeah. Well, as you talk about your Pokedex, I happen to still have my old Pokedex from 4th grade. Ooh. From Tiger Electronics.
I think I have one of those somewhere.
Yeah, I like how the inner button's like a Pikachu tail for this. Man, I had so much fun playing with this thing. I still have it. Ooh.
FDDM says Pokemon Blu-ray is like One Punch Man, though. The Pikachu image is on a fragile plastic sleeve. Really? Huh. Let me look back at this image. Is it really?
Yeah, that's sad. That's sad to hear.
I
still have the
okay.
AFC Volplex. Not Vulpix. From way back then as well.
I'm gonna run out of battery. Say that again. Sorry.
I still have my KFC Vulpix.
Oh God, I forgot KFC used to do toys.
They used to have a really good sweet and sour sauce, but since they lose it, what's the point in going back there?
Remember when Taco Bell had those mascots before the Taco
Yeah,
Bell?
the cat and dog, the blue dog and the, I guess, Dorito colored cat.
Yeah. So that Mecha guy asks, how do we feel about the voice actress that passed away today who voiced Bulma? I mean, obviously, it's sad for the Japanese audience, but I don't watch it in Japanese.
Yeah.
What else has she done?
She kind of died not at an old age, though.
She's like 55, but that's
55.
Yeah,
Japan,
that's kind of common. I hate to say it.
No. No, I'm saddened.
I mean, how many times does it feel like, especially in the animation industry, people work themselves way too hard, and there's not enough money. I mean, it sucks. You gotta really work.
Well, for that kind of industry over there, she's at the higher paying range.
Yeah, she died yesterday, and she voiced. Let's see. Oh, she did a lot of. Oh, she was the theme song performance for the ending of Golden Boy.
Wow.
Wow.
Then again, if you have a Dragon Ball Z voice actor in Japan, they've probably voiced almost everything, or that's what the voice actor for Cell did.
She's in 10 Little Gal Force, the OVA.
Wow.
Arcadia of My Youth is Mira. Blackjack as Sandora. So yeah, she's gonna be in a lot of stuff. Blue Exorcist, Case Closed, Cat's Eye, which I'm going to start watching pretty soon. Has 2 different characters in 2 different episodes. City Hunter live action as the voice of Psycho. City Hunter 2 is Kathleen. Cleopatra DC. Cyber Team in Akihabara, which by the way is one of the worst anime I've ever seen. It might be. I think it's my least favorite anime of all time. Something about it just. I rate anime by.
Too cutesy for you. Granted, I haven't seen this.
Dude, it is fucking horrible. I rate anime by on my Anime Planet. If you look at something and it has half a star, it's probably because I couldn't give it no stars, or else it wouldn't register a rating at all. That show is so obnoxious to me. It's a show where I put it on in the background just to get through it, and I was just cringing the whole time. I was physically uncomfortable while it was playing.
Dang. Yeah, well.
I don't know what it is. And then one of the voice actors in that, it's a voice actor that I feel like I liked in other stuff, but in that it's just like it's nails on a chalkboard, you know. And then she was also in Legend of the Mystical Ninja, which I also just finished, which I also gave
voice
a half-star
might
rating
be
to.
the homegrown girl that ADV tried to groom into a voice actress. I faded out and
just for some reason. What?
You did that glitchy thing.
She doesn't have a terrible voice, but for some reason in that particular anime, I hate it. And it's got the stupidest character names. The villain is named Master Shooting Star. So it's so freaking bad. Anyway, just to finish my point.
That sounds pretty awesome.
No. When you hear them actually say it, you're going to be like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever watched. But anyway, just to finish my point, I gave Legend of the Mystical Ninja a half star when I first started watching it. But I didn't hate it nearly as much as the other shows I've given a half star, so I bumped it up to 1.5.
Okay, so Paul, do you want to re-explain that for those who just came in for one last shot?
Yeah, I will. I just want to catch up on the chat real quick. Someone in Japan has the highest life expectancy, but I always hear people dying. Yeah.
What word is quatched?
He meant to say watched. The ending of Golden Boy didn't have an ending though. The ending, the theme, the song that plays in the ending credits. That mecha guy says, "Is it true that studios in Japan take the death of a voice actor so seriously to the point that they would cancel the show altogether?" I really doubt they're going to cancel. They're not going to cancel Dragon Ball Super.
No. If it might be delayed for a little bit because who knows how close they were to this voice actress.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard to replace her in terms of relationship because, they're still using the voice actors from the original show, the original Dragon Ball from the 80s.
I'm wondering how the voice actress for Goku is doing. Yeah.
Hard to say. Who knows? So I'm just going to go through this real quick. Yep. So Dragon Ball GT, all the Dragon Ball movies, Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball Z. Even the specials that haven't come over here, like Goku's Firefighting Regiment. Eyes of Mars, she was in that in the Japanese. Fist of the North Star is Ami. So a lot of these, I'm trying to look for something that is going to make you. That mecha guy asked me how I feel about it. I'm looking for something that's going to make me care more. I mean, it's a tragedy that she's passed away, and I'm sure for the Japanese audience, it's got to really suck. But and obviously for her family and stuff too. But I haven't seen anything that she voiced the character in where she's more than one episode, you know what I mean? It's a long-running character of something I actually watched in Japanese, I keep seeing stuff I watched that in Japanese, and it's like, oh, she was one character, So Kamikaze Kaito Jean, I might, if they ever released that in America, that one might bother me that she died. But I don't think that show's probably over. It's not like they're going to keep releasing it. Kimagure Orange Road. Okay, so that one, I'm obviously going to be watching that one in Japanese. So
what was with Right Stuff teasing their new announcements with a gift from Kimagure Orange Road? Hopefully that'll be one of their Kickstarters, but I wasn't there for that panel.
Actually, I think it might be. Well, not Right Stuffs, but Animego is going to have a new Kickstarter launching pretty soon.
Hopefully it's that, or You're Under Arrest.
I would totally dig it if they did You're Under Arrest, because if you think about it,
how many boxes is that one at the moment?
12.
For that, 12 boxes.
12 4 boxes,
4
12
boxes.
DVDs.
Okay. Okay.
Well, but they've is there a new series that got released by Sentai, or did they re-release the old series?
Seasons, I think 2 through 4 movie.
Because then that would mean Animego doesn't have You're Under Arrest anymore. If Sentai
They have
released
season 1 for some reason, if that's the case, because season 1 hasn't been re-released outside of Amerimigo, which I have no idea how in the world they're writing their contracts to have that strong of a stranglehold on their properties.
Robert J. Woodhead, the CEO of Animego, is he's married to a Japanese woman. He goes to Japan all the time. I think he speaks fluent Japanese. He's got a really good relationship with a lot of big name players in anime. That's what I'm guessing, at least.
But for a company that's more releasing like black and white samurai movies, maybe that's their niche.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, they do a lot of those. One of the releases of 47 Ronin, the original, one of the original. There's like 30 freaking adaptations of that, but one of the Chushingure or whatever it's called adaptations was released by Animego. Let's go through. I think.
I wonder if Genshin Shiruzu knows that I own all of the U.S. Manga Corps and Central Park Media's anime library. This doesn't include the R18 stuff.
I think FDDNM brought up a really great point here regarding the Japanese voice actor for Goku, which is voiced by a woman, saying that he imagines they kept the original Kid Goku voice and just didn't get rid of it. So now Goku sounds like a child. Yeah. That actually might be what happened. Is they hired a female for Goku in Dragon Ball, and then when Dragon Ball Z came out, and Goku was older, they just kept going with the original voice. That's actually a funny.
That's a funny thought, but she goes out in public and does exposition, does like publicity stuff while doing Goku's voice and all the poses.
Animego, I don't think, is up for a complete series Kickstarter, let alone Kimagure. Well, who knows? Whatever they've got the license to, they're potentially going to do.
You say that, but that guy's on his deathbed right now. Hopefully still alive.
Who? Robert J. Woodhead?
No. The creator of Kimagure Orange Road, or KOR.
Yu Yu Hakusho, the OVA I'm referring. Yeah, I remember that. Actually,
the only time Kuwabara sounds correct.
I love.
I have that too. When they did it, the guys, you cannot forget that voice. Maybe they don't FDD in them. I don't know.
Did they redub Poltergeist Report?
Yes.
So they did. They did redo it. Did Funimation redo Poltergeist Report? Is what I'm asking.
From what I understood, they did. I haven't rewatched it.
Yeah, so I don't know. So the one you're talking about, it's listed here as the movie, but there's a couple of movies, right? So
there's only 2 movies. Yeah.
So this set, you might want to see if this one has the. Well, actually, if the other movie, because the movies were released by Anime Works and U.S. Manga Corps, so Funimation got a hold of one of them. It seems more likely that they would have gotten a hold of Poltergeist Report. So check that release. That should have a redub of what you're talking about.
With Yu Yu Hakusho, that's an interesting one because at first when they try to release it over here, it didn't do well. Probably because of the dub, probably because of advertising, who knows. Then you get Justin.
You're talking about when it was released through U.S. Manga Corps, it didn't do well.
It didn't do well. Then
because it didn't
for
have
some
the show.
reason there was 2 attempts from Anime Works. One attempt with the Yu Hakusho movie /
Ninku.
Ninku. Then darn it, Funimation. His name begins with Justin.
Savakis?
No, not him. Anyway, this Justin guy, he got a hold of the series and got it popular. That Funimation got it from Anime Works and released it while it was airing on Toonami.
So, according to Anime News Network, just to clarify, Poltergeist Report was only ever released by Central Park Media / US Manga Corps. It was the one just called Yu Yu Hakusho, the movie, that it ended up on the Funimation re-release. So Genshin is correct that it does not have a re-release.
Yeah, Justin Cook.
Yeah. I always get him confused with Johnny Otaku. Because that's isn't that his name too?
I don't know who that guy is.
No, that would obviously be Jonathan Cook. You don't know who Johnny Otaku is? Have you ever seen the he's the one who's banned from like all conventions. In Otaku Unite, you've seen that, right?
I have it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Okay. Watch it, or at least watch 2001 An Anime Odyssey, which is a YouTube recut of it that's really funny. Johnny Otaku is notorious. He's like a radio DJ. I forget which state he lives in, but he plays anime music on the radio in this small little thing, and he does cosplay. And in Otaku Unite, he does a what do you call it? A cosplay of sexy Inuyasha doing like a strip tease. It's like it's freaking horrible, and it's so funny at the same time. You have to see it.
So why is this guy banned from every convention?
There's so much to this. He wanted to be a voice actor. Okay. He kept telling everybody he was going to be the next Vic Mignogna. But what's funny is he cannot pronounce Vic Mignogna's name at all. Like I'm not even going to try to mimic what he was doing. Mignogna? I don't know. It was the one that was popular at the time because of it was probably around the time Full Metal Alchemist was coming out.
Because the guy has great publicity. Either some people say nay to him, some people say yay to him, but he only has 3 voices. Before Broly, Broly, and after Broly.
Well, I'm just saying that that he kept claiming he was going to be the next Vic Mignogna, and then at this one convention, he saw a female voice actor who was a guest at the convention. He pinned her up against a wall and told her he wouldn't let her go until she got him a job at Funimation or something like that. And obviously security got involved and he got banned from all conventions on like the Eastern Seaboard or something. So
but really, Vic Mignogna, you would think it would be like Jim Cummings or something like that. Watch
Otaku Unite. It'll make sense.
Okay.
Because obviously the he's really delusional. It's funny. I back when Manga Entertainment's YouTube channel had MangaCast MangaCast with Jessie and I forgot what her name was. Jessie and I want to say Amy. That's definitely not it. Anyway, Jessie and I became kind of like Twitter buddies, and we were joking around that we need to go on a quest to do a docudrama to find Johnny Otaku and reunite all the people from the documentary. And the conversation kept evolving until we decided it would be a biopic starring Vic Mignogna. as Johnny Otaku. Anyway, you have to get all the backstory.
Kind of like disaster movie.
Yeah, basically, but except that like it hits home because it'd be Vic Mignogna talking about how he's going to be the next Vic Mignogna, but pronouncing it Viganon or something like just he can't. So bad. Anyway, you had to see it. Whew. Eventually get the Blu. Yeah, you know what? A Blu-ray. This is probably unrelated because I don't think you guys are talking about the same thing. But a Blu-ray of Yu Yu Hakusho would be really nice right about now.
Did FDD&M ask a very suicidal question?
I am catching up on the chat. They didn't get it. I thought that was part of the movie collection or whatever, though I never watched Yu Yu Hakusho, so I would know. You should definitely watch Yu Yu Hakusho because it's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they don't have the license for Kimagure Orange Road. That's possible. Who knows? It's the first anime I ever watched besides Pokemon, Dragon Ball, and Z. It still remains my favorite. My favorite season is season 3. I think you like it. It's a freaking amazing show. It's so amazing.
I liked when Ryzen enters, but
there's not a single episode that's not good
of
Yu Yu Hakusho. There are definitely highlights to it, like when Yoko Karama first shows up and Hiei, there's great characters in that show. The first OVA of it, and Funimation acquired the Golden Seal. I'm simply waiting to eventually get the Blu-ray watch it, blah, blah. First OVA, Justin Cook. Vegeta. Chris voices a character named Kuwabara. I know you like DBZ. Yeah, the Kuwabara voice is so great. That's just such a great voice.
Oh, and that was a time where they were just making up voices to make voices.
Yeah, I miss those days.
Oh. So where are you on the chat right
U.S.
now?
Manga Corpse, as in them being dead. Chris voices every character in every funny show. I say that about we play that game called Where's Piccolo every time we watch anything from Funimation.
Yeah, might as well. However, that's a bit harsh for U.S. Manga Corpse, but oh well. Some companies.
Otaku Unite. To answer Genshin's question, Otaku Unite is a documentary. I actually have a bunch of anime documentaries. It's one of the things I like to collect. It's a documentary about otaku culture in the U.S. So it's like following conventions and stuff. And then there's some weird stuff like what are those called? What do they call them? Kaiju in Pacific Rim. They have kaiju wrestling is another thing that they kind of cover in it. So like people dressing up as like Godzilla monsters fighting each other in a ring. FDN says who is Jim Cummings?
Who is Jim Cummings? Where do you live in Canada? He's the guy who voices Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Piglet, the Good Dr. Robotnik, Lord Boxman, the singing voice of Scar. So many more. I mean, just look them up on IBDM or whatever.
IMDb.
Yeah, that
Internet Movie Database.
Yeah,
which is owned by Amazon. Did you know that? There is a Blu-ray. Oh, but there. Yeah, you know what? Okay, so he's saying that there is a Blu-ray of Yu Yu Hakusho. I never got this because they put the stupid Anime Classics thing on it. I hate those. I'm gonna wait for a complete box set in a nice box. Then I'll buy the Blu-ray. So yeah. Anyway, all right. So
you heard it here first. Go buy that same thing he's talking about. Right, get a box, write nice on it, put it in there, and give it to him. Oh,
Yu Yu Hakusho has had Blu-rays for each. Residents also relate most to Sensui, Yusuke, my favorite characters. I agree. Kuwabara is my favorite Chris role ever. So recently I had realized our anime Blu-ray releases is inferior. Yeah, of course. Well, it's going to be because Japan's going to get them first because they have the original source stuff. And then it's easier for us to license them after they've already been converted to Blu-ray.
Oh, yeah. Another voice, Jim Cummings, is done as Darkwing Duck and Negaduck. Let's see.
Anyway, Yeah, the reason I want there to be a Blu-ray is just so I can have an excuse to take these out of my collection for a while, because I freaking hate Funimation's stupid ass double thin pack cases that are like coming apart because they're so old. You know, I hate these. I hate that age of Funimation. I'm glad they're not in that anymore. Anyway. All right, so let's see what
Another thing to add to the Blu-ray remasterings, that typically means that the license is alive, and there's people who already did most of the work to come together and talk, and licensors here can go over there and actually talk to someone to try to get it.
Yeah.
Okay, you look like you had.
I'm shutting down.
Burp. Ah.
I may have, yes. I'm shutting down this computer just so the internet is faster. I cannot wait for part 3 and 4 of JoJo's Blu-ray, or just even DVDs. I just want to see it because, like I said, I exclusively watch what I own. I hope that they continue with the ridiculous dubs. Personally, I kind of hope that they re-release the. Is it Super Techno Arts? Yeah, Super Techno Arts release of JoJo. I hope that they re-release that with a crazy dub like the first arc did. Because that's it's like people complain about that dub being terrible, but it's the only way you can dub a show that ridiculous.
Let's see, any pre-orders on your side of the world?
You mean like 2 states over, 3 states over? But I'm sure I've got something. Like, I forgot about Dragon Ball until I got the notification on my phone. But well, I'm waiting for the Right Stuff sale, and then I'm gonna pull the trigger on some Sentai limited editions like Squid Girl.
That should be coming to me on November 28th.
Yeah, I don't want to overspend right now because as you guys know, I'm launching a company in January, and I need to I have to drop like probably 10 grand to get all the print shops and stuff sorted out before I can launch. So I'm going to be broke during until probably mid-January. I will have like no excess cash. This is why I'm kind of hoping that Under the Dog fails in their Kickstarting. But I'll have like no cash, and then after that, I should have more money than I've ever had in my adult life after the company launches. But we'll see. We'll see where things go. Anyway,
what's that mug right beside you? Oh, wow. So was that released by Genion, or no, that looks import.
Yeah, this is oh god, it's dusty. Yeah, it's definitely an import. I'm not sure which company specifically, but I've never drank out of it. I'm probably not going to. And then of course I got my pillow.
Yeah, I remember that. I think episode 3 you showed that off.
Yeah.
3 or 2.
It just hangs out with the collection. Anyway, we should probably wrap up soon because I got to take over for my wife.
Okay, so
and I'm about to run out of battery. So.
And poll results.
Yeah. So does anybody? So far, the only thing that's happened is FDM said that if we want to change his vote from Chargeman Ken to Blackjack, that's okay. That would put Blackjack in the lead. I'm totally cool with that. If anybody else has so FDM asked if he said he thought that was Inspector Gadget on the mug, and then he says, I will probably kill him for that comment. Absolutely not. Inspector Gadget was a show that they were going to, that is created from it was animated by the team that did Lupin. So it is tangentially related to Lupin, and it's an awesome show. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Inspector Gadget cameos sort of in the background in an episode of Lupin somewhere.
That would be nice. You'd thank the canceled pilot for Lupin Part 3 or Part 8.
No, it's just called Lupin the 8th. Yeah.
Lupin the Eighth, which you.
That's actually that's the one, right? That's the one that they were trying to do.
Dub.
Yeah, no, they were. Isn't that the one that they were going to make, and then it became Inspector Gadget, right?
Yes, because some sort of disagreement issue, and since they've already spent the money, they offered to animate them a show.
Yeah,
TMS did.
Yeah. And they did Inspector Gadget, which was one of my favorite shows growing up. Great soundtrack, great character design. So that's why when you see him, he's got like, and they copied the aesthetic for Cowboy Bebop, but like the thing where, and this is also from The Professional, starring Jean Reno, where you've got the pants that end, and then you see the socks, and then you see the shoes. You know, that sort of style. Inspector Gadget technically does qualify as anime. So does Thundercats, and several other cartoons you probably watched in growing up. So there's that. Anyway, so if everybody else is cool with it, I'll say we'll do Blackjack the movie, just so I have more time to work on that Ava project.
And wait a minute, there's one more.
Ninja Cadets?
So, nope. Since we got the turkey carver, we obviously have to introduce the turkey of Solar Adventure.
Solar Adventure. Yep. I don't know if mine's open. Let me find it.
It's not that hard to watch or find. Yeah, so we're finally watching one of these Korean bootlegs. Why was this even made? Because Japan embargoed imports of their anything over there, so they saw some stuff and wanted to create their own. Is it good? We sent everything to animated over there. Common sense answer is no. No, this will not be good. This is a turkey. So in the same vein of Mystery Science Theater 3K's Turkey Day, this will be our turkey to endure. Let's see.
Dang it. I can't. Do I have Solar Adventure?
You should have it.
Space Adventure Cobra, Soul Eater. It's got to be like right here.
It's been bothering me this whole podcast. I see like Transformers 2, and is that Beast Wars or is that Armada? Okay.
Beast Wars. Yeah, these are my overflow shelves. Okay, I do have it, and it is open. So.
Okay.
We're good.
Ooh.
So I have to add this to the description. I'll add a link there. It's like $2 on Amazon. If you do buy it through the link, that'd be really awesome, because in order for me to retain affiliate status with Amazon, I need to sell, or I need to have a link go through 3 products in 180 days, and I'm coming up on that, and I haven't done it yet. So if you guys do want to get it and check it out, definitely use that link, because it's probably the cheapest you're going to find it anyway. And all these comments popped up. Can you go through those in the chat real quick while I add this to the link?
I shall. So let's start with. Okay, we already talked about Raiden. I can't wait for part 3, part 4 JoJo. We talked about that. I like part 4. Bit rates. I'd say Aniplex probably has the highest quality Blu-rays. They're basically literally Japanese releases. Well, no shit. Then I guess Gurren Lagann is the only good. You're just wrong right there. So H.
This podcast is not. We got flagged for limited or no ads. You got to be kidding me.
Limited to no ads.
Yeah, we Adpocalypse hit this podcast.
Huh.
So annoying. Anyway, I'm just updating the description real quick, and then
okay.
The chat.
We do H264 over here. Episodes fit 9 dicks. Talking about bit rates. For a second, I thought you said Sentai. I thought Totsusaku like Super Sentai. Yeah, I see that confusion a lot as well. Uncompressed. Okay, I thought that Inspector Gadget. We talked about it. Brad will want to kill me for that compliment. Probably. Well, you're in Canada. Wait, don't tell me Inspector Gadget. That is so.
Yeah.
That was on TV
that
back
Mecha
when
guy wasn't
Digimon was
here
on TV.
for that Ava project.
So Inspector Gadget was second anime then. Eva Project. Whoa, that's interesting to know that about Inspector Gadget / Thundercats qualifying as anime. I think Thundercats was like some animation studio before they joined with Ghibli that animated it. So I heard through the grapevine.
So I'm just gonna, let me jump in here real quick.
Yes.
That Mecha guy, I'm working on a project for a compilation thing for Mr. Nice Guy's channel, and I just to quickly recap, because I already showed everybody else this, I'm working on going above and beyond with a certain project here. So I need time. The bottom line is I didn't want to watch something that was subtitled because I wouldn't be able to finish this project because it's going to take me a lot of time. So anyway, that's the Ava project I was talking. I'm not working on an upcoming Ava release or anything, so nothing that cool right now.
So back to comments. Mecha Guy, because it is an Aniplex, makes pair. Okay, next. Just isn't compressed like Japan. They have different trades. Let's see. I remember Beast Wars growing up. Awesome. Does Valerian and Lurian count as anime? No, it's French. Even though they do have an anime called what you just said. So yeah, that would be co-product. No, that would be anime. The movie sucked. What? That is so BS. Not really compression. Oh, stop it. Oh, that looks amazing. Referring back to your Eva CG model. Right. If you don't see compression, okay.
All right. So, yeah, I hate. Oh no, I was gonna say first. I like Defenders of Space. That's not Solar Adventure. I forgot. I just opened that from the pickups. Anyway, so I hate to call it an end here, but my wife is taking care of the baby right now. I'm supposed to take over like hours ago. New podcast time is a little bit rough for me since I live in Arizona where we don't have daylight savings time, so it's an hour later for me. So it means it's an hour later for her watching the kid.
Quick comment for me for FDD&M. I understand the mumbo jumbo. Reading it's interesting. Me saying it is boring.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So I'm gonna have to wrap things up here, guys. Thank you for for tuning in. And as FDD&M said, go ahead and find us on Twitter if you want to keep talking between podcasts.
Are we watching Blackjack or are we watching Charge?
We're doing Blackjack and Solar Adventure.
Okay.
Sort of the thing that Augie and I are going to start doing is we're going to pick a something that's easily available, and every podcast we're at least going to watch something that should be either already in your collection or something that would be really easy for you to get. And then we'll also do potentially something that Augie and I just want to watch that might not be as available, or something like Solar Adventure that is really easy to get, really cheap, but you might just want to skip on it because you might not want to have it in your collection. So anyway, so that's what we're going to do. And I stream a podcast every other week, but in the future that might change to every week once Augie moves to his new apartment. All right. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you later.
See you later.